Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to what promises to be a very beautiful day. In the words of Michelle Obama, the former First Lady of the United States of America, no country can ever flourish if it stifles the potential of its women and deprives itself of the significant contributions of more than half of its population. Now, a report by PricewaterhouseCoopers Limited, Nigeria, shows that women account for 41% ownership of micro businesses in Nigeria, with 23 million female entrepreneurs operating within this segment. Now, this shows us that women are a financial wheel and they contribute significantly to the bottom line of any economy. It is fondly said that when you empower a woman, you empower a nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is a beautiful day. My name is Mojibade Shosoya, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the maiden edition of the Blue Blossom Conference and Exhibition. It is brought to you by Stanbic IBTC Bank. Today, we would officially launch our revamped customer value proposition for our Blue Blossom product. As an advocate for women empowerment myself, anytime I hear an organization is championing a cause that supports women empowerment, I'm always very excited and delighted. So I'm definitely very excited to be here because today is a good day. And I celebrate Stanbic IBTC Bank for leading the cause for women empowerment in Nigeria, especially with laudable initiatives such as its seed funding initiative for women in agriculture in partnership with the United Nations, the Stanbic IBTC He for She initiative, which seeks to promote gender equality, and the Stanbic IBTC Founders Institute, which provides mentorship to female-owned business startups, and now the Blue Blossom, which has now been revamped. So I'm really excited that Stanbic IBTC Bank is taking this initiative to support causes that will obviously impact the bottom line of our nation, Nigeria. I don't know about you, but I am excited. If you're excited to be here, please celebrate Stanbic IBTC Bank. Thank you. It promises to be a very beautiful day as we learn, we network, and we shop. We have exhibitors outside where you can visit their booth and also shop from them, from all their wares. But much more than that, we'll be speaking to this proposition that helps to better females, that helps to better female businesses as individuals. This product will address all your financial needs from start to finish. It's a one-stop shop for all financial tools relating to women. So it's a beautiful day, it's an exciting day. We have a lineup of interesting speakers, distinguished speakers who have honed their skills, who own their businesses, who own their, who know their stuff, who know their onions, who will be speaking to us today on different conversations. We have a lineup of erudite scholars, and you'll be thrilled today, I promise you. It's a beautiful day, and once again, I welcome you. But when we have a gathering like this, it's not my responsibility to do the official welcome. I'll be welcoming an estimable gentleman to do the official welcome today. Now, this man, I like to say that he's a round peg in a round hole because he's wearing a hat that suits him so perfectly. He's dedicated, he's a visionary leader, he's an exceptional gentleman. Please let's make welcome for the welcome address today, the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Holdings, Dr. Demola Shogunle, for the welcome address. A round of applause for him.
Yes, thank you, Mujisola. I didn't know how you got all those flowery comments. My name is Demola Shogunle. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all happy to be here today. I hope you are delighted to be here today. Very good. I will just go through very quickly, my speech, then I'll make one or two comments. Dear distinguished guests, I would like to observe all the protocol so that we can just get, to the meat of the day. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the launch of our women's community. Today marks a significant milestone in our journey towards empowering women in Nigeria. As we gather here today, it is essential to note that women have made significant strides in Nigeria. According to World Bank collection of development indicators, females constitute 49.47% of Nigeria's population. Yet, they continue to face numerous challenges in their quest for development. If you put it in perspective, that is approximately half of the Nigerian people. However, we have seen a recent shift in the dynamics in terms of gender balance over the years, as women have made remarkable contributions to our country's growth and development. Women have proven themselves invaluable assets to our society, from the political to the economic space. As Sheryl Sandberg, board member, Meta, said, in the future, there will be no female leaders. There will just be leaders. The federal government of Nigeria has implemented several policies to promote gender balance and women empowerment. One of such policies is the National Gender Policy, which was launched in 2006 and revised in 2018. The policy seeks to address gender inequality in all sectors of our society and promote women's full participation and inclusion in all areas of national development. Policies such as this have been enacted to demonstrate government commitment to achieving gender balance and women empowerment in Nigeria. Stanbic IBTC has also played a significant role in achieving gender balance in its employment. We have a diversity and inclusion committee and a gender-focused employee resource group. In addition, we have implemented flexible working arrangements and family-friendly policies to support work-life balance for all employees, including women. Despite these efforts, we recognize there is still much work to do. For instance, a recent study by PwC reports that women account for 41% ownership of micro businesses in Nigeria, with 23 million female entrepreneurs operating within this segment. However, a lot of women-owned businesses struggle to survive. For this reason, amongst others, Stanbic IBTC is launching the Blue Blossom Community to bridge the gap in women's representation in industry and diverse sectors. Blue Blossom Community will provide women with access to resources and opportunities for growth, such as mentorship, training, and affordable funding, with favorable concession fees, lifestyle improvement, networking opportunities, platforms to showcase your business, education funds, investment opportunities, and many more. I hope the men are not envious. By providing these resources, women can unlock their full potential and become agents of change from their families to their communities. As Kofi Annan, former Secretary General of the United Nations, once said, when women thrive, all of society benefits, and succeeding generations are given a better start in life, unquote. As we pivot into today's program, I hope you enjoy your time here. I enjoin you to open your heart to the limitless possibilities that will be unlocked as we'll unveil our value propositions through the Blue Blossom community. In conclusion, I thank everybody who has made time to support us at this event. With their distinguished presence, I would like again to thank, our chairman, the chairman of Stanbic IBTC Bank, Mrs. Shola Devi Bora. Please, a round of applause for her. She's had to defer so many plans, so many trips to be in person. When she agreed to be the keynote speaker, the idea was for her to do it virtually. But we've been very fortunate. So one or two things happened, and over the weekend with the public holiday, Shola decided to postpone her flight, her trip, and she's here with us in person. We can't get it better. Another person that has, honored us with, our distinguished presence is the very chief executive, the person in charge of ease of doing business. Very long acronym, but, but when you see her, you know that this is the person in charge of ease of doing business. That's Dr. Otuwole Jumoke. Thank you so much for honoring us with your distinguished presence. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, the speech, written by our colleagues, thank you so much for writing this speech. I will mention 2 or 3 things very quickly. I attended, and I've said it in 1 or 2 occasions, just for us to know and understand and appreciate the power, the resilience and the excellence that we've got when you are talking about Nigerian women. I attended a program in Harvard Business School. AMP program, very compact. And in one of the modules, they wanted to pull us into a group and said that we should discuss how to give room, how to allow women to thrive in the workplace. And a professor grabbed the microphone and wanted to introduce the course or that module to us. Of course, I raised my hand. I said, Prof, there is a problem here. That some of us, we've been working with women. We have women bosses. The person that signed my appointment letter, a woman. I work directly with a woman boss. I work directly with colleagues. I said, so some of us, we've been working with women in the workplace throughout our career. So let us separate this class into 2. Those of us who have done it experientially, and those who are yet to understand. So those who don't understand, they will tell us their concerns. We will share experience with them. The prof said, Demola, do you want to separate the class? I said, but that's what has happened now. So, and the person I was referring to was the one who actually sent me for the course, and that's Shola Devi Bora. So on this note, the other one is to say that we've got a program in Stanbic IBTC. We call it DICEPT. It's Digital Skill Empowerment Program, where we sponsor, Nigerians, students, fresh from school to acquire specific digital, tech, skill sets. And we pay for everything: training, tutorial, examination, and certification. The first one we did, we ran through it very quickly. But when we did DICEPT 2.0, ladies and gentlemen, check what happened. We decided to deliberately, skew the admission in favor of female, you can call them female techrepreneurs. The important thing is that they did very well. More than 80% pass rate. And as we speak now, we've actually doubled or quadrupled the number of those who went through that program that we've admitted into Stanbic IBTC. So for us, it comes naturally to us. The third one is the fact that when you check the board of Stanbic IBTC, ladies and gentlemen, there is one of our subsidiaries now. One of them, about 2 days ago, we just noticed a board of almost 8 or 9 directors. 90% women. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please let's celebrate Dr. Shogunle for that warm welcome. Thank you. I'd like to specially recognize again the special advisor to Mr. President on the ease of doing business, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole. Thank you for making time to be here to join us on this special occasion. Thank you very much. You know, it's such a great day to be alive. It's, beautiful times in Nigeria, especially with the launch of this Blue Blossom community and the fantastic opportunities and benefits that the Blue Blossom community offers. We're looking forward to the great things that our women in all sectors, private sector, business women, entrepreneurs, things that they will achieve by being a member of this community. So thank you, Stanbic IBTC, for not just talking the talk, but also walking the talk. Thank you very much. Please let us celebrate one more time Stanbic IBTC Bank. And of course, the great man, the excellent man who is steering the ship and steering it so passionately. Thank you very much, Dr. Shogunle. I'd like to again warmly welcome you all, our distinguished guests. Thank you very much for making time to be here this beautiful Wednesday morning. It promises to be well worth your time. The different conversations, the engagement, everything. We'll be networking, and of course, we'll be shopping from our exhibitors outside. We have people who are joining us virtually. That's the beautiful thing about the new century that we are in. You can be anywhere in the world and also be in different places in the world. So we have our virtual community joining us using our event experience app. Can we please give them a round of applause, make them feel welcome? We love you. Thank you for joining us. Although virtually, we promise that you will experience everything here as though you were in the room. So if you can engage in the comment section, just drop emojis, be excited, because today promises to be a really beautiful day. And I'm telling you for a fact. My name is Mojibade Shosonya, and I'm really delighted to be here as the compare for this momentous occasion. Thank you very much again, and welcome. As we move on very quickly, without much further ado, I'll be introducing our keynote speaker. Now, I love to see women who are doing great things. I love to see women who are shattering glass ceilings, who are breaking the different biases that exist. This woman has worn several hats, yet very graciously. She's handled and held multiple leadership roles and handled them very specially, graciously. She recently retired as the Chief Executive of Standard Bank, African Regions, and prior to that, she was the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Holdings and Stanbic IBTC Bank. She was among the top 100 advanced media most influential women from 2019 to 2021. She also has several other accolades. She's an honorary senior member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria and the winner of the CNBC African Woman of the Year Award for 2016. Let's make welcome, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, none other than the phenomenal, amazing, exceptional, outstanding Shola David Boer for the keynote address today. Let's celebrate our chairman as she comes up stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that nice welcome. I'd like to add my own welcome to this launch of the Blue Blossom community. It's so wonderful that, despite the busyness of Lagos, that you can leave your businesses and jobs and join us here. And I stand on existing protocol. I'd like to also welcome Jumoke, because she told me she was traveling to Rwanda later today. So, I know how busy these things can be. I told her when I retired, I was so happy I didn't have to wake up to like 400 emails waiting to be opened. So, yeah, it's great to see you again. Thank you for joining us. I want to thank those who wrote a very beautiful speech for me. It was such a lovely speech, but I'm not going to read it out. So please forgive me. I'm just going to say a few things which I jotted down, and I think are important, as we launch this community, because this is not a product; it's a community. A community is a family. This is a support structure. You're joining a network that will help to build you up, personally, to build up your families, to build up your businesses. And we're really excited that you have joined us today. So I want to ask 3 questions. The first question is, who do you go to when you need advice or you need support in a particular area today, now? Who do you go to? The second question is, who do you go to in a crisis? I don't know about you, but I've experienced some crisis. Who do you go to? Who do you turn to in a crisis? And the third question is, who do you go to when you want to plan for your future? So not today, but looking forward 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So we'll answer those questions briefly, and then I will try and wrap everything up. So the first question, like I said, who do you go to today when you need advice or you need support? If I was to ask everybody here a question, what's your problem now? What problem are you trying to solve? Because what's on your mind? You probably, maybe during the night, you are thinking of something. It could be family, it could be how am I going to pay my children's school fees, it could be paying rent. I'm sure many people will say it might be FX, they're looking for FX. But whatever it is, everybody has a problem they're trying to solve today, just now, because all this grammar we're speaking here, you're just saying, look, people hurry up, I have things to do. But part of the benefit of being part of our community, the Blue Blossom community, is that you are entering a community where you actually can get help. You can actually get support as to how to achieve something, how to solve today's problem. It could even be, indebtedness. Have so much debt, you don't even know how to figure it out. It might be how to restructure that debt. Whatever it is, you're coming to a community that is professional, that has your interests at heart, that the information they're giving you is fact-checked, is data-driven. It's not WhatsApp that, people just post anything on those WhatsApp. Lots of it is just fake. You're not sure media where you're not sure about the veracity of the information. You're coming to join a community that can really help address some of the challenges you're facing today. And all of us living in Nigeria will tell you, yes, there are many challenges, but they're not insurmountable. And being part of the Blue Blossom community will certainly help you, to overcome these challenges. The second question is, who do you go to in a crisis? Do you know that the first phone call you make in a crisis is the most important? You can make the wrong phone call. It is life-threatening. You must know who you go to in a crisis, where there's fire on the mountain, And obviously, you must have had the phone number of the person before the crisis. It can't be during the crisis that you're now trying to find somebody's phone number. No. You must have built a network before. So you know that, oh, I can call this person, I can go here, I can do this, because there is a major crisis that could be life-threatening to you and your family. I listened to the former president of Malawi, President Joyce Banda. She used to be the vice president of Malawi, and then the president died. And their constitution says automatically the vice president should take over. But then there were different interests that didn't want her to be president. They didn't want a woman to be president, you know. Um, and therefore, they started playing tricks. They put her under house arrest. They were going to swear in somebody else in the meantime. And she said what saved her was her network, that she began to call people who she knew before. She said she called on the Secretary of Defense in the US. She called the UN. She called diplomats. She said she just called her network. And they started putting pressure on the politicians, on the military in Malawi, warning them, telling them that, look, if you do this, it's unconstitutional. It's going to affect many things. It has implications. You know, I mean, in the end, she said the military were the first to kind of cave in. They came to meet her and said, okay, we'll support you. And then when they saw the military was on her side, every other person now fell into place. And she was ultimately sworn in as the president. But she said it was a life-threatening situation. They actually wanted to kill her. And it was her network that saved her. What point am I making? It is being part of a network in advance of a crisis that helps you through the crisis. And we are hoping that Blue Blossom community will be able to give you the kind of support that sees you through any crisis. The third question and the last one is about the future. You know, your family, your children, they are the future. Your own plans of the future. The decisions we make today determine the future, the way our family will live in the future. So therefore, it's when your child is 1 or 2 or 3, that's the time to start making plans about their university education. That's the time to start setting up an educational trust. Not when they're old, when they're young. You know, that's the time to make the decision today that will help in the future. I remember meeting a lady once. I was trying to sell her mutual funds. And she laughed at me and said, my dear, I don't need these your mutual funds. That I was fortunate to work for a boss when I started my career, that he was a British gentleman. And he advised me I should start saving early. I should start investing in shares. So she said from her 20s, she's been saving, she's been investing in shares based on the advice of her British boss at the time. And she said when she tried to tell her friends, they would laugh at her. Ah, you're following Oyibo. Ah, okay, you know. But she said today that she's living off passive income. She's living off dividends that come from the shares that she bought. And she says, meanwhile, her friends are running around looking for contracts, you know, begging somebody to give them a contract so they can make money. So the decisions we take today have a great impact on our future, on the family, on the future of our family. You know, this is the time to set up a living trust, you know, a trust that you can also supervise when you are alive. This is the time to set up a will. By God's grace, it will not be open until we're very, very, very old, but now is the time to set it up so that there's no confusion, you know, when we're not around anymore. Today is the time to join the Blue Blossom community and have access, you know, to advice, to support, to guidance that will help you make the right decisions concerning the future. You know, if I was going to summarize everything I'm speaking about and what is the aim of all of this, you know, I heard an expression recently, and it was called financial dignity. It's about having financial dignity. What is financial dignity? Financial dignity is the ability to take care of yourself and your families, their basic needs, and still have enough for a rainy day. Financial dignity is starting to save regularly and saving early. Financial dignity is the power of compounding. If you are saving, even if it is 1,000 naira, every week, every month, the power of compounding over a 20-year period is amazing. It multiplies. Financial dignity is having passive income, like the lady I spoke to you about, that's working for you when you're not working. So you invested in property, you're getting rental income. You invested in shares, you're getting dividend income. You're getting interest on investments. That is financial dignity. Financial dignity is investing in assets that appreciate rather than assets that depreciate. You can give two people 10 million naira. And after 5 or even 10 years, and you ask those two people, what have you done with your 10 million naira? It's like the parable of the talents. You might find out that somebody's 10 million naira is now, let me say 30 million. Another person, the second 10 million naira, you ask where it is. Say he doesn't know. That in fact, he's looking for money now. Because, you can buy, if you buy a car, let's just say, you know how expensive, I don't know what the going rate for all these cars are, but, it's not easy. Immediately you drive the car out of the showroom, it has started depreciation. It's losing value immediately. Meanwhile, let's assume you buy property. That property begins to appreciate. Hopefully it's in the right location. So it's what you do with the assets that you have that determines the trajectory of the future. And making sure you're investing in those things that appreciate rather than those that depreciate. Financial dignity is diversification of risk in different asset classes. So you have some money in equities, you have some money in fixed income, in property, in Forex, and hopefully they don't all crash at the same time. If one is going down, another one is going up, so that you diversify your risk and you build a much more sustainable income flow. Financial dignity is cash flow. Financial dignity is liquidity. So, when you're old, you're not having to sell assets to generate cash. You have cash flow coming through. Financial dignity is not having to beg for funds from others when you have a need. That's financial dignity. And I'm hoping that Blue Blossom community will help you to achieve financial dignity. It's a very important imperative, especially for women. For too long, we have been too dependent, on husbands, on fathers, on whoever. And, we thank God for husbands. I have a lovely husband. God bless him. But we need to have financial independence and financial dignity. The last thing I will say is that in a community, it's important that we have shared values. So this community is not out to rip you off. This community is not out to take advantage of you. This community, rather, and you will hear from, some of the executives later about the discounts that you will enjoy in being part of this community. This community is focused on making sure that you build a business that is sustainable. We would always keep to regulations. We would keep to the laws of the land and enable you and encourage you to do the same. So shared values is an important part of being in a community. And those shared values hold us up and help us to withstand situations, that may arise on a journey. But I want to once more say welcome to the Blue Blossom community. This is a community that you will not regret joining. And I look forward to, seeing you on future occasions and hearing some of the good news about, what you've been able to achieve and receive from being part of this community. Thank you very much for listening.
Please let's give a resounding applause to our exceptional chairman. That's the chairman, Stanbic IBTC Bank. Thank you very much for your thought-provoking keynote address. Thank you. Again, we'd like to welcome everyone who's joined us. We see some of our speakers are here. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for making our time to share of your invaluable experience with us today. We look forward to an amazing time during the panel conversations. You mentioned something about network, and I think it's so critical that we understand, especially as women, that your network is your net worth. And that's exactly what you have said. It's really critical. So joining the Blue Blossom community will afford you everything that you need. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop for all your financial needs. And I saw a very interesting quote, and I will just read it very quickly. It's from Linda Davis Taylor. It says, "Give a woman $1 and she can put it to good use. Teach her how money works and she can change the world." So what Stanbic IBTC Bank is doing today is enabling women to change the world. And we're really excited about that because much more than giving the money, you're teaching us how to put it to good use. Thank you very much. Please let us celebrate Stanbic IBTC Bank. Thank you. Now, coming up next, we'll be doing something very significant, which is exactly why we are here. We'll be officially unveiling the Blue Blossom product. If you're excited, make some noise, make some noise. I'm not feeling this excitement. It's like a 4/10. Give us a 10/10 excitement. Woo! Great, great. Right after the unveiling, we will have a special presentation. It is often said that a picture says 1,000 words. But what you will see will say 1,000,000 words to you because we have a drama presentation that you will watch that would also tell us more and expatiate on what the Blue Blossom community will afford you. Now, to officially unveil the product, it gives me great pleasure to make welcome a dedicated member of the Stanbic IBTC Bank family who has over 17 years experience in banking. She's an excellent communicator. She's the head enterprise banking at Stanbic IBTC Bank. Let's make welcome the amazing Olajimoke Bello for the official unveiling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special moment. She'll be officially unveiling the Blue Blossom product.
Good morning, everyone. I'm standing on existing protocols, and I know this is why we're all here. There have been so many conversations around the Blue Blossom community, and so that people don't think this community is a coded one. So we're going to let you know what is in this community. It's not one that you need any gate pass to enter, or there's any thing that you do before you can become a member of this community. So our team has worked tirelessly to provide Nigerian women with a platform that would help them excel in their fields of endeavor and live their best lives. So I am proud to introduce the Stanbic IBTC Blue Blossom community. It's an offshoot of our Stanbic IBTC Blue Blossom account. It's specially designed for Nigerian women. And the platform offers comprehensive financial and non-financial benefits. It empowers women to take control of their finances and live a fulfilling lifestyle. When a woman signs up to the Blue Blossom community, she gains access to a suite of features that would open doors of opportunities for her to achieve her financial and lifestyle goals. These include invitations to financial and niche events. We also have capacity building. We do free risk advisory and claims management on home insurance. And we get an exclusive invitation to Stanbic IBTC Trade Club. Additionally, the Blue Blossom community provides a network of women leaders and top executives in various fields, giving members access to valuable connections and opportunities for personal growth. I am incredibly proud to unveil the Blue Blossom community as an offshoot of our banking product and value-added service to provide an excellent experience for Nigerian women. With Blue Blossom, Nigerian women will have a healthier, more fulfilled, strong, and they'll be empowered also. Thank you.
Honorable Duchess of the Market. Mama. Honor
Yesterday, do ọ̀rẹ́ mi tímọ́tímọ́ came to meet me that she saw Babaka in beer parlor buying pepper soup and beer for everybody. I said, it's a lie. Tony, I asked Babaka for money this morning for Babaka school fees. He said, woman, if you throw me up and down, call Fatia, call, shishi, you no go see for my body. I rushed to the place. Babaka. 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 I call him, he no answer me. Babaka, you're strong. As I won't face come up for the place. That's why he hit. shaky color, you no mix up. This man, you asking me, make una help me, oh, Baba Katipami. Make una help me, oh. Make una no tell am say I dey here, oh.
What did you just say now? Yabalaga, that's your leg for there. Gabby, where do you think you are going? Okay. Where is my money of the Ankara you take in my safe? You will pay me my money today.
Abi, he make me tell am me.
Tell her, Guinea. That what? Yabalaga, tell her, Guinea. Hello? Hello? Yes, I wanted to call you now. Okay, it's my Ajam money. Ego Ajam Ozigo. Is it complete? You know that I need to stop my shave. It is my turn, no? Christmas now, Biamuno. You know now? Yay! You telling my money? Alano. Togana. My 1.2 million.
They carry your own round too. Wetin we go come do now?
I don't know. I'm all of what we can start with the one you are owing me.
Here nigga. We suppose be women standing for women now.
What for there?
No, Here you now inside the same bus we dey.
Oh, yeah.
Mama go carry your 1.2 million. My husband don finish my money wey dey inside my polo. Well, if you ask me, na to ask these people wey dey here. E be like say dem get money. Abi una no get money?
Money have been waiting again it all.
Well, like the life, if you want to help anyone, it should be me. Listen, my name is Ajia Aisha Danjuma, married to the best man on earth. Currently, I am a housewife, but that's not to say I am lazy. I am not lazy at all. See, look at this. I have great business plans, but my husband is so overwhelmed with the bills, and I can't ask him for money. The pressure of the bills is getting crazy. Oh, the pressure is getting worse. See, we are still trying to sort out the school fees and the rent. And I try to support with my own small cooking business. But you know the way the country is, pa. I can't be inviting strangers into my home so that they will not come and kidnap me and my cooler one day. So I know if I can get a loan or grant, I am sure I can be able to expand and support my husband. So if there is anybody you need to help, wallahi taala, it should be me, ma.
Make sure it's Gucci and nothing else. If it's not Gucci, we are not buying. Products sold in this country doesn't make sense. I want it imported, okay?
Everyone, meet my neighbor, Mrs. Audrey, a business mogul. I sometimes envy her, but the way she keeps spending money shows that she's not maximizing her profit in her business. The way she keeps importing everything. Today, I want Gucci. Tomorrow, I want Balenciaga, if possible. She wants Balenciaga Egusi and Prada crayfish. I think she needs mentoring and she's not being business smart, pa.
See, don't tell me I am above budget. I am the CEO and I call the shots, okay? The payments of salaries can wait.
And as I was saying, one more thing, please. Make sure you make videos while delivering the items to the office, okay? Yes, please.
Madam Audrey!
What? The world must know that I do quality, expensive products.
And?
Hey, I wasn't talking to you. As I was saying, I don't need your help. If anybody needs your help here, it should be. Please help us.
Is that not Mama Kamu? Confirm me. I buy a Kamu for her hand yesterday and never been.
sef. I know Mama when I was younger. She used to work with one company that used to sell plenty car. Keynote ṣẹlẹ̀ gan, what happened?
If you want them, let me just you. I hear that she was a careless spender. Enjoying the moment and never even bothered to invest to herself. She used to reply with one song, Keyana, I'll be rich till I die. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Cover me, oh! I don't want to make she see me and people know that her eyes is not start again.
But you should have helped her. Eh? Help who? Help who? Oh, please, let me out that trap, please. She was born in the past, but she never listened. See, choose to help me instead, so I don't end up like that old woman, Mama family. I'm sure you guys know prevention is better than cure. See, my own problem is small. My own problem is small thing. All I need is a very good smartphone, and boom, I am good to go. I am a badass content creator. That's my major hustle in school. But this dead phone of mine won't just allow me to be great. I also need mentorship too, because I can be a very confused human being sometimes. So please, choose to help me instead.
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here.
And who says we only get to help one person when we can afford to help everyone? How? My queens! My queens! You see, regardless of the space that you dwell in, the length of your garments, the colors of your struggles, or whatever your frustration is, we see you. Believe me when I say, at Stanbic IBTC, our spotlight has never left you because we see all of your struggles. So rejoice, for Blue Blossom community has been birthed. Blue Blossom? Yes, Blue Blossom community. This is the kind of blue that believes that you should save well and also rewards you up to 1 million naira when you save with the Stanbic IBTC reward for saving promo. And not only that, your life and everything becomes so easy with the USSD star 909 hash. Do you like?
Benny, Benny like it.
Oh, man, this is the kind of group that believes that your business should be supported with a working capital. So you get access to our SME loan line. Isn't that great? And guess what? You also get access to 10 million naira so that your business can be stocked up. Funny. I love it in quantum. This is not also the end.
Oh, wow, you stopped the drum just when I started dancing, but that's okay. Thank you very much. Please let's celebrate Korede Art for that fantastic performance. An interpretation of what Blue Blossom is about. If I have never been excited to be a woman, right now, I am excited to be a woman, seeing all that the Blue Blossom community will afford me. Again, today, let's celebrate Stanbic IBTC Bank for taking the initiative to support women and ensure that women across all sectors of life are catered to. Thank you very much. Now, we will watch a quick commercial. Technical team, can we have it played? I'd like to ask that we focus. Great.
Honorable Duchess of the market that keeps our belly full, Her Royal Highness, the one that turns hundreds into millions. We, your children you carried on your back, say thank you. Mama no dey sleep, no dey tire. The ever-efficient Chief Operations Officer, Bebe di Bebe, new media marketer, turning likes into credit alerts. Sweet babe, running in 9 to 5, yet still turning up for your people. Women are blooming with ideas, thriving in life and business. At Stanbic IBTC, we are cheering you on. Blue Blossom is for women who want to save, invest, and grow in life. Go Blue with Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC, it can be.
Thank you very much. Are we having a good time so far? Awesome. I understand that we have some of our friends from Agege Market. I greet you now. How una dey? Una dey fine, fine. Now, because of you, we gather today. We won't make your business better. So we hope, say you understand. Say all we they do here now for you. Thank you for leaving your market. Come here, come learn, come celebrate with us because now you go we they celebrate. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. We'll go on a very quick 5-minute tea break, water break, networking break, but please do not leave your seats. You can take pictures, network, meet up with our distinguished panelists and speakers here. We'll be right back and we'll get on with the very first powerful conversation of the day. Again, my name is Mojibadi. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back in 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Welcome back from the water break. We'll settle in very quickly and continue with the rest of the conference. Just to reiterate again that we have exhibition stands outside. You can check them at different intervals during this conference, but we also want you to benefit from what's going on. Don't worry, the exhibitors will be there all day till the end of the conference, so you can shop later, because today we're learning, networking, celebrating Blue Blossom, and shopping as well. Thank you for joining us. We will continue right about now. Coming up next, we have a product talk, and this product talk will address the product we're launching today, which is the Blue Blossom. And to do the honors, it's my pleasure to make welcome the team lead, digital and enablement, business and commercial clients, Stanbic IBTC Bank, Modupe Banjoko, for the product talk. A round of applause for her. Thank you.
Good morning again, everybody. Just waiting for my slides and then we can get started. But I think while the slides are going on, just to say that a little information as to how we got here. I know Jumoke, when she was talking earlier, talked about the tremendous work. But just to say that all of this started about June, July last year. And it was when we got the big nod from Doc and a few board members. And just to say that, from that day, he would always check up on a weekly basis to get updates as to what we were doing. When we came up with the final deck, before we had the focus group, I can tell you, because I sent the message, Doc himself had to go through a 34, 37 page slide document, reviewed and gave comments. And then it went to Wale, the CE. So just to tell everybody in here listening, to say that this is not a cookie cutter solution, or it wasn't something to just check the board, check the box rather, but it was something really been driven at senior management level. And thank you, Doc, for the push. We're just all excited that today has come. Do we have our slides ready, please? Okay, I think we can run through this because the drama team have really done a lot of work helping to position the offering. But just to say that, as an organization, for us, it's not just financial. Of course, that's our KRA, but today, every customer wants more than money. Because sometimes when you even have the money with you, you probably wouldn't have capacity in terms of how, or the knowledge or the expertise in whatever area you're going to and how to utilize it. So the offering really is cut across in two areas. It's financial, and we have the non-financial part of the offering. And I think the emphasis here is bank and non-bank, just emphasizing that Stanbic IBTC runs a holding structure where we have various business houses within that structure. So we've got our bank business, our pension business, insurance business. And for us, solutioning for today's working woman is not just solutioning from a bank perspective, but we're leveraging on all our expertise across our various businesses and positioning that solution. Next slide, please. Okay, so I would run through this, and just to say that this is not the final. It's a working list, but I think the highlights in terms of what we're trying to position for this revamp. The first is the zero current account maintenance. That's your com fee for business accounts where you're transacting and the fees that come for transacting on those accounts. That has now been waived, it's free. We have fees that also come with loans. You've got your advisory fee, your management fee when you come get a loan from the bank. For business loans, those fees have now been cut 50% for Blue Blossom women. You're supposed to be clapping, as in we're talking big shave and the budget hasn't moved. We're talking in terms of interest rates for loan for business accounts. That also has been shaved. I can tell you that figure you're seeing there where it's plus 5.5 can sometimes go as high as 10, 12. But for Blue Blossom women, we're getting a big shaving discount. Thanks, Doc, for this. 5% concession on our short-term loan. So we have a short-term loan called Mamadu, and some call it SME Light. And it's our zero collateral loan to a maximum of 10 million. And for that, you get a 5% concession. Also within the group, this is coming from our life assurance business, where you can pay a premium of up to 5,000 monthly, and then you can get no questions asked, 1 million naira, just to help augment in the passing away of a loved one. On the motor insurance, so if you subscribe for the insurance for your motor vehicle, in addition to that, to what you get, which is the cover for the loss of that vehicle, you also get 100,000. So if something happens, if an incident happens, instead of going through the process of paperwork and getting quotes, finalizing or agreeing on quotes, with no question asked, you can fix the car and they would reimburse you to a tune of 100,000. Any damages more than 100,000, then you need to engage and agree on that paperwork. Again, specific to Blue Blossom women. In addition, peradventure, there's also an incident or an injury in that motor vehicle. The owner gets 30,000 naira towards medical expense and a maximum of 100,000 naira. For household insurance, with a premium as low as 10,000 naira, you can cover up to 2 million worth. There's 10% discount on home insurance. There's 1.5% concession on travel insurance for a family of 2 parents and 3 children. We will find out for those that have 4 or 5. I think we're going to have those conversations on the side. And for our education trust, you get a 20% setup fee on that. And last but not the least, for will services, you get a 33.3% on that service. So just to say, this is just a snip and more to come. For a non-financial running quick, you get banded collaterals on your debit card, checkbook, access to Reward Plus loyalty programs and merchants. So we partner with certain vendors or business owners, and you identifying yourself as a Blue Blossom customer, you get discounts as agreed with those partnerships. Invitation to niche programs like the RX, WIMBIZ, and many more. And of course, we're talking about minors of account holders, where we would give them access to financial fitness clinics for free. Our trade club, this is actually a global platform we're in partnership with that can give access to market. It's an online platform, and we're trading, I think currently on the platform, we have over 80,000 businesses globally. So onboarding yourself on this platform gives visibility around your product offering, and you also have access to other vendors or products that you're interested in. And of course, financial fitness classes to Blue Blossom customers. And the last 2 are just talking about risk advisory for insurance and then claim. Usually these are not provided for, yeah, I think I will just stop there. So just to say again that it's part and not all, but thank you so much. And thanks to our exec for sponsoring that we can put this compelling CVP to our customers.
Thank you very much for the detailed presentation, and also very exciting because, I mean, looking at the benefits and the numerous opportunities, it's a great time to be alive. Thank you very much. Please celebrate her one more time. All right, to our virtual community, virtual audience, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for staying with us on our events app. We do hope that you're having a great time and that you are also connecting right on the virtual app, because it doesn't matter that you're not in the room, you can connect with other virtual participants as well. And to everyone in the room, thank you for joining us. We will move on very quickly to our first panel conversation today. And you know, it's really interesting because the first panel conversation speaks to saving and investing, right? And I would introduce the moderator. Now, it's often said that, you know, this man needs no introduction, but I'll still do the introduction. He's a national treasure. Like when you see him, you can tell that he carries power. So we have brought a powerful man. And you're wondering, why is a man moderating this conversation? Well, you know, Stanbic IBTC also has the he for she. So he's the he for she on this panel conversation, and he will be championing this conversation around saving and investing. Now, studies have shown that women are less likely to invest than men because most women do not consider themselves investment savvy. Therefore, they wait till they're either much older or consider themselves financially buoyant to invest. This conversation will demystify that, and we'll be talking about saving and investing. Now, to officially moderate this conversation, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our moderator, who will come up stage to then introduce other members of the panel. Our moderator is the chairman, AW Network, and founder of RED. He's founder for Africa, the continent's largest portfolio of youth-focused media brands, including Red Media Africa, Statecraft Incorporation, The Future Awards Africa, and whyniger.com. He is a pioneer at the intersection of media, democracy, and social change. He has been profiled by Forbes and CNN as the man who helped elect a trifecta of presidents in Africa, steering rebranding, realigned national discourse, and optimized media engagement. I haven't finished introducing him, but he's coming up. Well, like I said, he needs no introduction. Let's make welcome the amazing, powerful, phenomenal. He's shy because he doesn't like to roll out all his accolades, but this man is a great man. He has done great for Nigeria. He keeps flying the Nigerian flag anywhere he goes. He's a world-class treasure because not just in Nigeria, in Africa and beyond the African continent, he's contributed significantly to the world. Adebola Williams, we're incredibly proud of you and we're delighted to have you moderate this first panel conversation today. I'm so jealous of him because he gets to introduce the distinguished members of this panel. I mean, I wish I could bring them up because they are all great people who are doing great things. But ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome. He's already welcomed. He's already on stage, but make him welcome again with a rousing applause. Adebola Williams, I'll hand over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you. I paid her for that. I paid her $1 million. Thank you, Bojimari. You're too kind. Thank you so much. So I'm going to introduce the other panelists, but I don't have a profile for them. So I also didn't want you to, introduce me with this big profile, and I'm just going straight, to the main stars. I'm just a small part of this, but it's my pleasure to chair this panel this morning. Thank you, Stanbic IBTC, for inviting me. I think that we do need more men in the room when we have conversations around, gender equity, accelerating, fairness and balance with women. And I do strongly think that financial capacity is one of the most important ways to accelerate, this gender balance that we're looking at. When women have money, when women take risks, when women make investments, they're able to afford to do much more for themselves and for the community that they're passionate about. So thank you, Stanbic, for doing this. Without much ado, I'm going to introduce the most distinguished panel for this morning. Please welcome Ola Oladele, founder Money with Club. Ola Oladele, founder Money with Club. Oh my. Thank you, Ola. Thank you so much. Powede Awujo, digital creator. Thank you. Shola Osufison, head business development, Stanbic IBTC Asset Management. And Sadia Ojo, head consumer clients, Stanbic IBTC Bank. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can keep the round of applause going. Thank you. Thank you so very much, ladies. Thank you so much. Fantastic. We're going to try to have a very, very real conversation this morning. I have many thoughts on women and money that I have come to learn in the last couple of years that I've dedicated a part of my time to gender work. And my first question this morning will go to Ola Oladele. Investing can be a chore, especially when you don't want to play that stock picking game. Studies have also shown that sometimes women just want enough to feed their families. Women just think about the well-being of those around them and their neighbors' children and those down the street. And so I'd like you to tell us, Ola, what is the nexus between savings and investments? And then the myths that you have encountered about savings and investments, and how they can be addressed such that women have much more than savings, but bountiful to be able to function.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ola. Actually, it's pronounced Ola. I'm Igbo, fun fact. So thank you for inviting me. And with respect to saving and investing, I always try to use a scenario that we can all relate with. So think of an apple. Someone comes, gives you an apple, and then after eating it, you have the seed, right? You can throw the seed away. You can use it for some facial stuff. Or you can sow it in the right environment. Say you're in Lagos or you're in Nigeria, you could go to Jos and we can grow apples there. Now, what happens is that when you sow that seed, after a while, give it time, it becomes a tree. Then the tree blossoms and there are plenty apples. Now, think of your salary, your earnings, what you make from that business as the apple. What you keep aside is the seed. If you leave it chilling in the bank, right, like you leave the seed, it will shrivel, it will die because inflation will take it out. But if you plant it in the right environment and give it time, because time is a major factor, what you can have over time is a tree that keeps giving you annually. So that is the connection between saving and investing. The fact is that you can't just make money and eat everything. That's the first thing. Then when you now save, you can't save and leave it idle in the bank. Sorry to the bankers. You have to do more than that. You have to invest it. Now, a lot of people see investing and all they hear is stocks. The fact is that if you put the money in fixed deposits in a bank, that is investing. If you put it in a high yield savings account or high yield investment, whatever, it's investing. It's not just stocks that is investing. There are other things. Real estate is investing. That's the first thing. So we've established the connection between saving and investing. Now, the myth is that the first thing that people say is, I don't have enough money. When I blow, that's when I will start saving. That's when I will start the journey. But remember, I mentioned time, and Mrs. Devibo said the same thing. Compounding matters, and time is the major factor in compounding. Now, if you say when you blow, the fact is that if you've not built the muscle of saving and the muscle of investing, what will happen is that you would use big money to learn, meaning that your class, your investing 101 will be very expensive. You will lose money because you see the small transaction and say, no, I can't do it. I want to do the big one. And that's where all the money will go, right? That's one thing. And another thing also is that people say that investing is hard. It's not true. It's very basic. It's as simple as putting money in something that will bring out money. If it makes sense to you, you can invest.
Thank you. Thank you. People, we can run applause. People say investing is hard. Sadia, what are the savings and investment opportunities for women in this room? What are the high yield? Because Ola mentioned high yield. How do I know which one is high yield? And if you can also just touch a little bit on why you shouldn't just also leave your money fallow in the bank. So for any bank you are, if you're in Stanbic, rather than just leaving your money in the bank, why should you move that money to the investment part of Stanbic? So it's like a double barrier question.
Hi, okay. Thanks for that question. I hope I remember everything you've asked. So I'll start with why should people invest? Or why should women invest? Because we're here speaking to women. As women, we all crave some level of independence. And the only way you can achieve that, right, is by saving. And we have created a platform for that in Stanbic IBTC Bank. We have high yield savings accounts that I will speak to a little later. So besides craving that independence that will give you that extra spring in your step when you're working, it gives you that confidence to know that, there's backup, you have money in your account, right? We're also responsible for at least ourselves, and some have families, whether your immediate families or your extended families that you're also responsible for. And in some situations, you find that women are involved in communities and they're responsible for a community. So you could have projects that you want to run or something that you want to buy for yourself, right? You have to save towards that. You just don't go out and shop on a whim because you've seen something that you like. So I'd advise that you save towards certain projects and save towards certain things. It's also very important to save because, life comes at you. Sometimes, like Ola said, when there are rainy days, but sometimes they come as flood these days, bills left, right, and center just coming in from everywhere. Despite that, I think it's important that while we're making money, we save something for those rainy days. Emergencies will come, life will happen, and we'll need to fall back on something. So while we're making this money, it's, our active years are not infinite. At some point, we'll get to retire, right?
Absolutely.
So save towards the future. Shola also mentioned it. That financial dignity and knowing what to do with your money now. A little percent of what you earn on a daily basis depends on the type of business you have. Just make sure you put something away on a monthly basis, on a daily basis. I think there are statistics to say that 20% of what you earn on a monthly basis should be put away in savings.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So I like that. Maybe perhaps you want to break it down into how to save, which is you just mentioned 20% now,
yes,
and then go straight into what are the opportunities.
Yeah, sure. I'll go into that now. So how to save? You earn an income, be it you're in a structured organization or an employee or you're a business owner, right? Whatever you earn, it's advised that you at least spend 50% on your necessities, right? Save 30% for discretionary items, but ensure that there's a minimum of 20% that you put down in savings. So as an organization, we have an array of savings products. We have the Swift savings accounts. They're in tiers. So this tiers just means that the documentation required, right, is not a lot. So you have the tier 1 savings account. All you need is your BVN, right? So you can just go to a bank, tell them you want to open an account. Even if you don't have a BVN, you can register for your BVN right there and then, and you get a savings account. There are other tiers, that will require you to bring a valid means of identification and then maybe a proof of address, right? Those are now more structured, bigger savings accounts. If you don't even want to open a savings account, there are simple ones that we do now with the electronic wallets, right? The SAR909 hash. You just dial it on your mobile phone. I'm sure almost everybody has a mobile phone now, so it's easy to just dial that string, and then you can begin to save money. We also have the Children's Education Savings Scheme that mothers or parents can choose to open for their children. Shola mentioned earlier that you have to plan for the future. So when you have a child, you start to put something away on a monthly basis into these accounts that they would use later in future.
Excellent. Thanks very much. I think the summary for me, from all you said, and I'll say this in pidgin, is that you no need to only save to get the things where you need. You don't need to save just for your financial needs. Make you save, but make you also invest for financial independence. Because sometimes women, they save so that they go pay NEPA bill, so that they go do this, do that. But if you save and invest at the same time, you go get money to just do like the woman with the buy Gucci and Balenciaga. Thank you. Now, Poede, I'm going to ask you, as a wife, as a woman and a mother, have you had any moment where you had a flash that, oh my God, if I wasn't financially independent, I would be in a mess right now? And how, what kind of lessons have those moments taught you that has guided your investment? So I'll take it again. Have you had an aha moment? Any moment where you take a look, say, if nobody say I get these investments where I make, I for don't just they mess up right now. And how that they guide you? How does that guide you to continue to invest?
Good afternoon, everyone. So for me, financial independence is like the bedrock to self-security. So when I turned 30 2 years ago, I realized I had spent my entire life learning how to be a nurse, learning how to impute an IV line, learning how to fly a plane, but I actually hadn't attained a level of financial literacy that I ought to have attained at that age. So I wanted to take a course, and I had to use all my savings to do the course. So it was then it dawned on me that I had to be intentional about my financial literacy. So I started to join financial literacy communities. I started to read books that would make me be more knowledgeable about my money. I started to intentionally follow these social media accounts that were giving out valuable information, legitimate information. Like the CEO said, we have to be sure of the credibility of the information that we are absorbing. So I had so many myths about money that I had to demystify. I used to even think, oh, money is the root of all evil. But I now realize that in the same holy book, he says that God giveth us the power to make wealth. And then it's the same holy book that said that if you use all of your oil, like a foolish man uses up all the oil they have, and a wise man stores up some for a new day. So I realized that I had so many misconceptions about money that weren't healthy. So I had to be intentional about my knowledge of money management and being a good steward of money. That's when I realized that if you do not tell your money where to go, you will lose it in frivolity. So I had to start, drafting out a budget as to my spendings. Where do I want my money to go? What part of my income is going to investment? So for me, that was a turnaround moment for me when I realized that I had income, but I didn't have any investments at that time. So I decided I was going to start upskilling. Oh, what other skills was I going to learn apart from content creation that would help me make more money? And because I had just studied to be a pilot and be a nurse, and then I had a first child. So it was then it dawned on me that, especially with women, we have so many societal expectations that sort of limits us when it comes to building a career and having a stable career. So I had to devise other means to make extra income and also have time to be there in the foundational years of my children. So that was just a turnaround moment for me.
Fantastic, thank you. You can clap to that. I think it's important to emphasize, and for women in the room to take this point that Poede made. She started following and learning about money. It is very important. You dey Agege, you dey Alaba, you are in VI, you need to pay attention to understand how money they work, how money works. There is a way money works. And if you do not tell your money where to go, it will go to where you do not know. If you not tell your money where you want to make it go where you don't know. So you will not say, I don't know, I get 30,000, but I don't know where the money go. It's because you did not tell your money where to go. I'm going to ask you, Shola Osufisa. Is it Osu or Oshufisa? Oshufisa, thank you. One of the best practices for building a robust investments. And if you notice, I'm speaking in English and I'm speaking in Pidgin, because when Mojibade was speaking, she spoke about different classes of women in the room, and we must be inclusive. And so try to break it down in 2 minutes, So if you notice, I keep giving you guys eye contact because I have my timer here and I'm trying to maintain the time. So try to explain as quickly as you can, what are the robust investment portfolios people can consider, women across different strata, and how can they be deployed to maximize their returns and minimize risk?
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So for me, I think one of the best practices in investments, first of all, is understand your risk profile. And I'll break it down in Pidgin as much as possible. What is my risk profile? What can I tolerate in simple English? It means that if my money goes down, my blood pressure will go up or will stay stable. If my money goes down, will I be comfortable? So those are the things you need to first understand. What can I tolerate? Some people have 1,000, if it goes to 990, they already have a high fever. So you need to understand what I can take as an individual. My colleague here might be able to take more, maybe she can take more risk. If you understand your risk, then you are able to understand and express yourself and invest in the right thing. So firstly, understand your risk. Secondly, it's very important to start early, right? Early investment is important. And the best time to plant a tree would have been 20 years, but the next best time is now. So it's never too late. Start early, right? Invest consistently. Also, you can't invest once and go and sleep. You need to continue to invest and ensure that at every point in time, you're putting money aside. Once you're earning income, you should also learn to put something aside, right? And pay yourself first. You earn, no matter how small your money is or how large your money is, you need to learn to pay ourselves first. We work a lot. Pay yourself first and put something aside for future. Discipline is also important. Generally women are known or termed to be spontaneous. You want to buy something, I also like this shoe, I want to buy this shoe. But you need to learn discipline. And this discipline should also cascade down to our children. I said that because, we say start early. You might have missed it as a parent or as an individual. Make sure your children don't miss it. As early as 5, when they're giving them money, what are you putting aside for savings? You are teaching them that value. You're passing on a legacy that when you know more, they can remember that. So discipline and consistency. So anytime you earn money, you do a budget. How much have I earned? How much am I going to put aside as investment? And that would help you at every point in time to ensure that your funds, you're not losing value. And a lot of investments are available, like you mentioned. It's not everybody that can go through the process of reading books about to study. It's good to read, it's good to know, because you can't invest in what you don't know about, right? But there are a lot of reputable organizations here, and we have mutual funds. So not everybody can study what happens in the capital market, how it goes up and down, but there are mutual funds that are managed by experts, right? That can help you invest your funds as low as 5,000 naira. So you don't have to have a 5 million or 100 million. So, but those things are very important. And so first of all, like recap, know your risk tolerance. How can I cope with loss or increase? How do I react to it? Secondly, be disciplined. Put funds consistently at every point in time. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask. Thank you. You talked about teaching children how to save and teaching children how to invest. I'm going to ask you, Sadia, what are the savings and investment opportunities to help a mother secure her child's future? And I'd like you to be as specific as possible, particularly if you have products in Stanbic that they can, take advantage of.
Thank you for that question, Debola. So I'll speak specifically to the CHESS account. It's abbreviated to CHESS, which is Children's Savings Scheme, Educational Savings Scheme that we have. So it's a savings account. It pays an interest, a preferential interest actually, that's above what a regular savings account will pay you. So you get more interest if you have a CHESS account. So parents, mothers can open this savings account for their children, and then you make maybe a direct debit from your account into that account on a monthly basis, right? We also have the educational trust that we have with our trustees. That account helps you save towards your education. In a similar fashion, you make contributions on a monthly basis into that account, and then it's specific to to a school, right? So the transfers are done directly to that school for your children's education. So it's a trust that you're setting up for your children's education. I mean, just in case something happens, the trust will continue. Yeah, so there's that.
Excellent. Thank you. Ola, I have an interesting question for you. Earlier, someone mentioned risk. And so I think risk is key in succeeding in life. I am a high risk, high reward kind of guy. I go in, you tell me this is the amount you want to pay me. I tell you, I'm sorry, no, I want 10 times more. You tell me, I'm sorry, I can't pay you. I say, okay, good day, goodbye. We shake hands and we go. You call me back 5 days later, okay, we'll pay you 3x. I'm sorry, no, 10 times more. Now, oftentimes, I'm ready to walk away from deals, from opportunities, if they do not pay me what I think I am worth. And the chairman said, your network is your net worth, but I think it's a half statement. I say to people, your network is not your net worth if it's not converted. If you don't put value on yourself and get your network to pay for your value, or to recommend you for your value, then you're not going to get any net worth out of it. You can be amongst people. Once there's no exchange, once they're not recommending you, their balance sheet is their balance sheet. Their bank is not your bank account. If you have 20,000 now in your bank account, if you sit down with people that have 2 million, when you go home, you are still 20,000 and they are still 20 million. So I take high risk, high reward. Everybody cannot do the same thing I do, but that's my style. Now, all I want to ask you, what are the lessons, or how do you think men make investments? Because oftentimes it seems as though we see a lot of men with a rich portfolio of investment and liquidity. How do men make investments? And what lessons can women learn that we think can help change their mindset and increase their investment portfolio for profit?
I think that's a fantastic question. And I'll come from the angle of ginger. The first thing you have to recognize is that men are motivated by us, by the bills we slam on you. So they are motivated.
Please, I need to give some bills to my wife, maybe to motivate her.
You know, but what I would say for women is take a cue from that and set your goal. Put your children as the goal. I want my child to go to a boarding school in the UK. My husband is not thinking about that, but let that be my goal and let it drive you. That's the first thing. They are driven, and they're driven because there's also that societal pressure for them to function at a certain level, right? So there's that drive. Find your drive, find your why, and let that be your goal. That's the first thing. The next thing is that they network. They put their ears out. You can't be, unfortunately, it's tough. And that's why we have to give preference to women in terms of networking. And we have to create these kind of gatherings where we can meet each other. But they network and they keep their ears out for the transactions. You can't be in your house alone, sitting in a silo and hear that there's a deal outside. Even if it's something you are going to put your money into, if you don't hear about it, it has gone. And you only hear after the fact when people have made money. So you don't want to be that person. So join communities, network, join the Bloom community, right? That's how you hear of transactions. And another thing that I know that they do is, like you said, they negotiate. Don't just take the first offer. Don't just take the first deal, right? try and push for more. Know why you are pushing for more. Like, and have the guts. Just bite the bullets. Even if you are shaking inside, just do it, right? And you'll be shocked when they take it out, and it gives you that confidence. But if you don't try, you won't get it. Another thing that I say that men do that women don't do is that they follow their money. I realize that when women invest, you can buy one land somewhere. Oh, I have one land there. Oh, I don't even know what is happening. You can even come later and find that someone has built on the property and you say, leave them for God. But no, a man would invest in something and he will follow his money. He would find out what is happening. He would get up, he would go, he would, whatever needs to be done. And I must repeat that women do have challenges in terms of you are already commingled with the children and all that, but find a system that works. You have to fight for it. Hopefully, we'll do better for our children in terms of the ease of being alive as a woman. But as we are, it is getting better, I must agree. But in that space, fight for it. Even if you have to send someone to go and check, you have to engage. Now, if you have that engagement mindset with your goal, you find that a woman who is driven by maybe a loss, maybe she's the only one that has to cater for her children, you know, when she's driven, she can get, in fact, she will get more than the guy. But we have to have that drive. I think that's the major thing. Really, we are very, my husband is there, my father took care of me. But you have to have goals. If you don't know, I think it was Muhammad Ali that said that my hands can't hit what my eyes can't see. So if your eyes are not looking at it, you can't get it. So that's the first thing. Set that goal.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ola. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to ask Shola your question. And Poede, I'm going to give you a question to think about so that when Shola finishes, I'll come to you with that question. So Shola, your question is, people think investment is big money. People think that you need to have a lot of money. So, you know, even market women, you know, they go to say before they fee invest, they need 200 million, you know, 1 million. But sometimes investment day will be 10 million, maybe 100,000, 50,000. So can you tell us, you know, what are some, you know, I mean, what is your advice on how to deal with this? That's your question. And then Poede, women are carers. There are different research that show that when you give women money, they manage money better than men. When women get money, the money goes further to impact the community than men. And so when you ask women to invest, sometimes they feel guilty. They feel guilty because as opposed to putting the money in people, in that guy that can't pay school fees, in that girl that needs this and that, they feel guilty, you know, because they then feel selfish that I'm saving this money or investing this money for myself and my family. So how do you think women can deal with that guilt so that they can remove the guilt and move into, you know, people that have portfolios? So I'll come back to you, Shola. The question is, you know, sometimes investments are seen as high ticket. You know, how can women deal with that?
All right, thank you very much. So investments are in different categories. And I can say today that at Stanbic IBTC Asset Management, we have mutual funds that's as low as 5,000 naira. And that's what a lot of people can afford. You might not be able to afford it in one day, but your daily contributions, right? Every day 1,000. In 5 days, you can do 5,000, right? And the beautiful thing is that we have over about 15 mutual funds that with minimum of 5,000, you can invest. We have ones that, of course, have bigger values. But the truth is that, like I said, start early, start now, start small. The importance of mutual funds is helps to diversify. So while you're facing your market, selling your crayfish, you're selling your whatever you're doing, you are able, somebody is there working on your behalf, trying to raise your money. And that's why you're talking about money that works for you. So you can't, like the other drama that they acted, the woman saving money in a money box. The daughter came and took the money. The husband came and took the money. But if you put your money in mutual funds, no person, no strange person comes your way to pick your money. And that can give you peace of mind. And these things are easy to monitor. So you can monitor it on your bed anywhere, and it helps you to achieve your goals. So you can tag a goal. What is my goal? I want to ensure somebody goes to school in 5 years, to Harvard. What do I need to do? And every year, every time, every month, every 6 months, you could say, oh, these are my objectives. Am I meeting it? Am I too far? Will it take me more years, or do I have extra money to put in and grow it? So the most important thing is the willingness. And like Ola said, having a goal in mind, having an end in mind. Put your objectives. You can open multiple funds towards that goal. With 5,000, you're good to go. Thank you.
Rede, how do women deal with the guilt of selfishness as opposed to using their money for community?
So I think you meant, how do women deal with the guilt of being a carer as opposed to...
Yes, so the guilt of feeling selfish
investing and,
by investing, as opposed to being a carer, which is what we assume women should always do.
So for me, I'd say is have a budget and stick to it. So with me, when I budget, the budget I have for charity is in my actual spending budget. So I'm not planning to be a money martyr. I'm not planning to die because I'm helping everyone. Because at the end of the day, I need to invest in my future. I need to have a pension plan. My spouse shouldn't be my spouse shouldn't be my pension plan. Neither should my children. So with women, it's important that we have discernment, and we also have foundational knowledge in terms of financial literacy to know what part of our money should go to charity and what part we should make sure that stays in our investments and in our savings. So when someone comes to me for help, I already have an allocated part of my income that goes to that. So I'm not going to touch it because the person needs help. Well, it depends on the gravity, but we should focus on, like Ola said, following our investments, and not pulling out of it because we need to help someone. It's not a wise decision to make.
Thank you. Ola, do you want to add something for the market women as regards this?
Yes. What I'd say is pressure will always be there, right? Hey, Pigeon. Okay. Wahala go. Pressure go day, right? Wahala go always day. But for you to pull somebody up, please let me not choke. For you to pull someone up, you self go day up, right? If money don't finish, everybody go day down. So as you they help, give yourself brain. Help small, help yourself small, help your future small. Be strong. Once you are stable, then you can do more. But if you don't get there, you will all pull yourselves down. So as you are emotional, as if they do you for chest, close eye. Focus on that. Make I get here. Once I get here, everybody go day all right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. A round of applause. Thank you. I think that brings us to the end. Are we doing a Q&A or? Okay. All right. That brings us to the end of the first part of the conversation. We will now take questions from the audience. If you have any questions for this fantastic panelists that I've managed to engage this morning. I think they've said a lot already. So if you don't get questions, I think they've done a great job. So anybody get question? Any question? We have, okay, great. We already have a question from online. How can women strike a balance between saving for short-term goals like emergency or vacation and investing for long-term goals like retirement or education? Fantastic. Who wants to take that? Who wants to take that? Okay, great, please.
Thank you very much. So striking a balance between saving for short-term goals and long-term goals. So I would put it in context. So example, I know there's a school fees coming up in August or September, right? And I know that I want to go on a vacation, to the Bahamas or somewhere very fun that will cost me money. I also want to build a house or I also put my money in pension. What do? I need to know how much comes into me. You need to, first of all, a lot of people don't know how much they earn. What comes to me? How much do I earn? Then allocate it properly. And one good exercise I want people to do is this. First of all, if you can spend 1 week, write out every kobo you spend. If you buy gala on the road, gala 15 naira, 15 naira. If you buy water, write the water down for 1 week. By the time you do that, you know how your money is going, right? So you know what part of your money should maybe what part of expenses you should cut down on, or what part you should build up on, right? So just these are 4 different goals or 2, 3 different goals. Then plan your purchase, your savings towards them. 10% goes to my short-term goal because I need to do this money maybe in 3 or 4 months. For the long-term goals, I'll put maybe like a 20 or 30% based on the budget for that goal. So it's first of all understanding what comes in, what you earn, and what you spend. When you understand that, then you're able to allocate funds based on objectives. So I have a goal to pay a fee. I should know how much I'm going to pay in September, right? If I don't know how much I'm going to pay, then that goal is, of course, is not clear. I need to know what is my cost for the short-term one, what is my cost for the long-term one, and what investment options. So, for example, I won't put monies that I need in maybe 10 years or ago. I'll put the money maybe in a fixed. I want to put the money maybe in something that is high risk, so that in the long run, I can enjoy a higher return and help me earn above inflation, right? While the short-term one will be in a safe one, so that at every point in time, in another 3 months, I won't be running up and down looking for my rent or looking for whatever the short-term goal is. So and the good thing is that we have experts in the house who can guide you. So you can't walk, you don't need to walk this alone. That's why this community, you don't need to walk alone. We'll guide you and hold you and ensure that you get to your promised land. Thank you.
Thank you. What are some of the key differences between investing in stocks, bonds, and other financial products? And how can women determine which option is best for them? Who would like to take that? Great. Ola.
The difference between a stock, a bond, other financial products are the risk involved. And like she just mentioned, if you are talking about retirement, you do the higher risk one, right? But if you have a bill in a few months' time, you do the lower risk one where you are sure that when you go knocking, your money is complete waiting for you. So I always say that you dress for where you are going. Imagine if I came here wearing a bikini, right? You will wonder what is happening. But if you're in the beach, nobody will look at you funny. So if you are if your plan, your goal is to buy a house in 4 years' time, 5 years' time, when you are deciding on what products to go for, you go for the things that would meet that need. And the things that are short-term, you go into the right investments for them. So this is a very personal question. It depends on what goals, what you're trying to achieve. When you know what you're trying to achieve, then you now ask, if I want to do a 5-year investment, which one suits it? I would say a stock is better. But if I'm going for a 6-month investment, I would say treasury bills for you. That's how it works.
Fantastic. So I think it's important that every woman in this room engages the Stanbic IBTC Bank team to understand where they fall, and you can use your money right, including goals. When you talked about goals, sometimes you think that vacationing is when you go to America. No, it's the time you've dedicated to create a different relaxation experience. So you can save money that is 50K, 100K. You can go to Enijesha Waterfalls in Osun State with 50,000. You can go to Abuja, you can go to Ghana, you can go to Togo, Cotonou to vacation. There are nice hotels, nice beaches, so sometimes it's just about the goal, knowing the goal, finding the budget, creating the budget, the costing for that goal, and then working towards it. So the next question is, how can women overcome the obstacles and biases that may prevent them from getting started with investing, such as lack of financial education or fear of risk? And I know Paul already spoke to something like this earlier, so I'll have her take the question.
Yeah, so earlier I spoke about joining financial literacy communities and intentionally following accounts on social media, reading books and all of that. But in addition to that, you also need a financial advisor, and that's why we have Blue Blossom Community. They offer all of these services as well. And then there's a saying that gold clings to the hands of the man who invests his money wisely. And there's also another saying that gold flees the hands of a man who puts his money to impossible earnings. So if you're going to invest, be aware of illegitimate financial advice or illegitimate communities that would offer you, some despicable ROI in a couple of days. So you have to be mindful of that. And to break those biases, you just need to educate yourself. impact in your knowledge of money and to learn better money habits and become a good steward of money. So that's basically it.
Fantastic. Thank you. I said earlier that your network is not your net worth if it's not converting. Your community is not your community if you're not using it. So if you say you're a part of this community, you're not asking questions, you're not engaging, then you're not using. We have one question in the hall. Yeah, the lady behind. Yes, please stand. Can someone get a microphone to her, please? So that will be the final question, and then we can close.
I thought you had your hand up.
The lady in black standing right here. Yeah, she was the one who. Okay, go ahead. So you already have the mic, but we have to take her. So quickly, and then we take both at the same time.
Good afternoon. My name is Ogechi. So I want to ask, for women who are in business where business needs to expand, how do you balance between using your money to expand your business and also saving?
Okay, great, thank you. So let's take her question quickly. The lady, sorry, can I see her so we don't, cameraman, the lady in black, yes. Right, exactly.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to know, are there investment opportunities in Nigeria for foreign currencies? So if yes, I would like to know.
Say that again, please.
Investments for foreign, like not investing in Naira now.
I see, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So
And
we
what
invest
are
in
they?
foreign currency.
Yes, please.
Fantastic, thank you. So I'll have someone from Stanbic IBTC to take the one about investing in foreign currency, and Ola can take the one about expansion.
So, with respect to expanding and putting your money, putting your savings, like your earnings, back into the business, I would say draw the balance, and I would say diversify. Draw the balance. First of all, let's start with diversifying. Imagine if you put the money you made back into the business and the business had a bad patch. There's no fallback. So, whilst you know your business needs to grow, you need to put away a certain amount because you want to grow bigger than the business. You want the business to run and you can be chilling. So as you are growing the business, have that culture. Think of yourself as a staff of that business and your salary. And the way a staff will save out of their salary, do the same and draw the line. And make sure you are putting your money in something else, not the business. Another thing also, okay, I think I've said the two of them together, draw the line and then diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Okay, so to take a question on the investment in foreign currencies, in Stanbic IBTC, even your regular fixed deposits can be done in foreign currencies. So if you have funds in the bank, you can put some funds in fixed deposits, foreign currency fixed deposit, FX fixed deposits, that's in the bank. Then we can move over to asset management where we have the dollar funds. So pool of funds put together and then we'll invest the money for you. And we also have the Euro bonds as well. So we can find somebody to speak to you more on those investments and find which will be suitable for you.
Thank you, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, when you invest, you're buying a day that you don't have to work. Ladies and gentlemen, only a foolish man or woman uses up all his or her oil. And finally, if you do not tell your money where to go, your money will go where you do not know. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Wow, can we please celebrate them with a resounding applause? Thank you. I did say that this was going to be a powerful conversation, and indeed it was. I definitely wasn't mincing words when I said that. And to our virtual community, please celebrate them as well. Give them thumbs up, drop comments, let us know that you're enjoying this, because we right here in the room, we are enjoying this and we're having a fantastic time. And I think key takeouts for me will be that you must know your risk tolerance, you must ask questions. And then they always say that if it seems too good to be true, then maybe it is not true. So be careful when you're investing and you see all these funny interest rates that seem very attractive and too good to be true. They might not be true, right? Not only rich people invest, everyone should save and invest. I remember I started saving and I learned the principles of saving from as early as 9 years old, or even before then, very early, when my mom will hand over money to us to buy bread or biscuits, just little things, 20 naira. I would save 10 naira and buy a cheaper one because I wanted to save money. And I learned that principle in life very early. So we're advising everyone to learn to save. The good thing is you have account officers, relationship managers who can guide you, investment advisors right here in Stanbic IBTC Bank, and they will guide you to answer any question that you have. So my agege people, where una dey? You dey enjoy yourself? You dey enjoy? So we dey say that no be only person wey get plenty money fit save or invest. Everybody suppose dey save. No, in fact, the people where they rich now because they don't save, they don't invest. Now why they become rich? So now from every money where you make, you go come out small, keep them. All our Stanbic IBTC Bank people, your account officers, they go come to you, teach you any question where you get, ask them. They will show you the way so that you too, you go become rich, you go save, you go invest, and you go bloom. Thank you very much. A round of applause for our fantastic panelists for doing a great job. Thank you very much, Debola Williams, for moderating very excellently, and to our distinguished panelists as well. We're going to move on very quickly to the second conversation of the day, and I'll be introducing our moderator who would also come up stage to introduce other members of this interesting panel conversation. Now, our moderator is the Lagos Mainland Hub Lead, Enterprise Banking at Stanbic IBTC. She leads a team of dedicated relationship managers for small and medium-scale enterprises at Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, her job enables her to give financial advisory services and support to the numerous clients that we manage right here in Stanbic IBTC Bank. And it's her ultimate desire to see emerging and thriving SME businesses all over Africa. Now, who better to moderate this great conversation that we are getting on than the one and only Folashade Akinwale. A round of applause for her, please, as she comes up stage to introduce other members of this distinguished panel.
Apologies, Folashade couldn't be here. She's under the weather and extends her apology. All right, such a tall order after Debola has been here. So, I've been told to stick to my core KRA. So I think we just do this informally. We've got Chizoma, please come to the stage. And we'll just have them introduce themselves when they get here. And we've got Tobo, I think that's Sandra. And the Shifori joining, Hadwe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And please, disclaimer, don't expect, to see the wow that you just saw earlier. Like I said, I'm a banker, so I've been told to stick to my KRA, but we're gonna do a bit of justice in terms of ensuring that we share knowledge. I greet everybody, and I'll be mindful of our audience as well. I think quickly, I'll have our panelists just introduce themselves, please, and their businesses.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Chizoma Chukwueke. I'm the CEO of Firewood Rice Nigeria. I make the best jollof in Nigeria, if I do say so.
Woo! Did you bring samples?
Yes.
Where is it?
Outside.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sandra Tubo Bereni. It's actually pronounced as Tubo.
Tubo.
Just so that I don't slander it throughout.
Okay, I'll try. Tubo.
I'm the founder and creative director at Tubo. Tubo is a women's wear brand. We cater to bespoke pieces and we dress some of the most amazing women in Africa and across the globe.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I am Olusegun Badoye. I head the retail team of Stanbic IBTC Insurance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm just running quickly into today's program. So I will start with Chizoma on this is my right or left? Help me out. My left, good. All right, so please tell us about your business and how it all started.
Okay. Good afternoon again, everyone. This is a story I like to share because it's a very happy, it's usually a happy moment when I share the story. So Firewood Rice Nigeria started in 2016, and it started, I opened it from a place of pain because at the time I wasn't financially, independent, and there was a lot of struggle on my own end, and I always wanted to do a business. I had been, I'm a Jesus baby, and everything, I always table my matter to God. So I'd asked God, I want to do something. I'm really broke as, somebody in paid employment. I couldn't really do a lot of stuff on my own. And then just one day, I was in the right place at the right time in the right conversation. Somebody had just celebrated her birthday and gave us food. And then when I tasted the food, it had this party aroma. It was, everybody were all, yearning to open it and take a spoon. And when we did, we were all disappointed. And, we all started talking about Firewood Rice. Somebody said, if someone opens a business and calls it Firewood Rice, that person will make a lot of money. And then all I did was, And I wrote it down in my book. I mean, my first boss is here, Debola Williams, who I worked with, and he always used to say something: a short pen is better than a long memory. Everybody there all had Firewood Rice, but I was the only person who put it down in my book. And I thought about what I was going to do with the name. And then just one day too, as I was praying, God reminded me how my mom's jollof rice, we used to crave for it every Christmas. So I said to her, Mommy, it looks like I'll start a business. I'll call it Firewood Rice. And I want that your December jollof rice. How you're going to do it, I don't know. But, we started it, and then I got my very first clients from my paid employment at the time. And the first money I made of Firewood Rice was 40,000 naira. And I had a savings or a profit of 2,820 naira. I can never forget it because I wasn't looking to make profits at the time. I wanted to launch. And the story continues. We've been 7 years in business, and we've been able, we have a staff strength of 70 people.
No joke.
We have a staff strength of over 70 people. Firewood Rice has catered to over 300 corporate clients. We are on retainer of over 40 corporate clients. We have catered to over 1,000 events.
Wow.
Right now, we're about to open our first outlet, one in Lekki Phase 1 and one in Surulere. So the story continues. We're blooming and we're growing. Thank you.
It's like we should just call it's a wrap. So tell us 3 things in terms of making the business a success.
Okay, so for me, 3 key things that has worked for Firewood Rice. I would say one is consistency. So first of all, people should know your brand for something. Like once you hear the name Firewood Rice or Firewood Jollof, you know that our key product is the jollof rice. So everybody knows Firewood Rice for jollof rice. And then we've been consistent with it over the years. Did it just happen overnight? No. We're able to, perfect the recipe over time. And I don't know if anybody here has had our rice before, like once or twice. You'll be able to attest that it is the same taste, is always consistent. So in whatever you're doing, consistency, let people know that whenever I come to you, I can always get this product. So that is one of the key, elements for us in Firewood Rice. The second thing I'll say is passion. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, I really don't think you should be doing it at all, because passion will keep you going. Even when things are not looking rosy, even when things are looking, bad. But once you have the passion for it and you can see the future and see where your business is going to, I think that will keep you going. And for me, one of the, like I've said before, I'm a Jesus baby. One of the key successes to Firewood Rice, I'll say, is God. And God has been faithful. He has put us in the right places, on the lips of the right people. So yes, have God, be passionate, and be consistent.
And I hope you've trademarked your recipe.
Everything is trademarked, trust me.
Okay, good. So for the record, it's been trademarked, Firewood. And you can see how she keeps reiterating. She's telling you that name, firewood.
Firewood jollof.
Firewood jollof rice. It's like you can't forget it when you leave here. So everyone is going to be looking for firewood jollof rice now. Right?
No, well, yeah.
But you brought samples now.
We brought samples for everybody.
Okay, all right. I'm just, please, where is it?
It's outside.
Okay, good. Just check
Ask
it.
this question before it's outside.
Just check it. Just check it. All right, we'll move to Sandra. Sandra, can we hear your story in terms of your business?
So I'm the only child of my mom, and my mom used to be a seamstress, and she was one of those people that literally beat you to do anything. So it's not like I really wanted to be a fashion designer or anything, but my mom was a seamstress, and by default, I went to her fashion school. Every day you come back from school, you go back to her office, and you work, you do whatever it is that you can do. So I can't even really say exactly when it is that I picked up the trade. I stayed in that store, and I trained her staff, so that helped me with dealing with human beings, so human resources and all of that. And then I became a student, and I saw that this was something that I could use to make passive income. So I used that to fund some of the things that I didn't want to ask my parents for money or anything. And then in December, when people wanted to make like their Christmas clothes, some people wanted to match with their kids. So my mom would make clothes for the adults, and I would make clothes for like children, and I was selling ready-to-wear pieces from that little age. As far back as primary school, my mom didn't bother to make your school uniforms or anything. If you come back and your uniform is wrong or you don't have the right uniform, it's your business. She will beat you back to school if you don't have the right uniform. So the fabrics are there and everything. You just need to make your. So I've been in this craft since I was a child. And then I went ahead. I thought I was going to change the world, by becoming a minister of finance or, something of that sort, or maybe I'll be a lawyer. But I went to school. I studied economics, had an MBA in finance, started working in corporate Nigeria, and somehow I just felt like the side hustle was going to be my main hustle. November 2014, I resigned from my career in finance, and I decided to just face fashion squarely. Almost like I was waiting for another job, but I was living with a friend of mine who was going to get married, and I was supposed to be her chief bridesmaid. Now, making that outfit for me was just too much, and it made more sense for us to use the money for her outfit and my outfit to buy a sewing machine and make both our outfits. And I did that, and then, but when I wanted to post it on Instagram, I said, okay, I was going to create a business name so that I could just tag that business name. And I posted that first picture, and it went live on Bella Niger. And I just had so many orders from there. And I really never went back to having that job. And then somewhere along the line, I had a client. So the first store was in Dolphin Estates, and I had this client who I didn't know at the time had a microfinance bank. But she had become fond of me because she realized that I was her mother's birthday mate. And her younger sister was coming back into the country. She was a doctor. She didn't have any idea, how her outfit was going to look or anything. And it was supposed to be like an emergency. And so she asked me to make the outfit for her sister before the sister got into Nigeria. So she came back into the country. It was a perfect fit. It was supposed to be a trad outfit, but this was somebody that had been away from the country for so long. So she didn't want to tie like the regular traditional wrapper. It was like an akwacha, some outfit that they wear in Delta Igbo. So I made the outfit, and she was so impressed. And so this woman just took a liking to me, and she would always come around to hang out with me. But the whole time, I didn't know that she had a microfinance bank. And so she would stay there, monitor me. But because I had a background in finance, I was very good with my books. So inflow, outflow, no matter how small it would always go on my Excel spreadsheet. And then one time she asked me, so if you know Dolphin very well, it didn't matter whether it rained, and I think it's still the same way now. Sunny as hell, and Dolphin can just be flooded for no reason. And so one day she was like, I'm tired of coming to look for you in Dolphin. Maybe you should move somewhere else. I had already lost the idea of moving to a bigger space, because this was pretty much where I was living. Lost the idea of moving to a bigger space. So I had an idea of how much it would cost. And when she asked me, I gave her the numbers. And then she asked me, okay, what would it be like if she maybe gave me the money and gave me like a POS machine? I was like, POS machine from where to where? And that's when I realized that the whole time she was actually monitoring me and just checking how I was good with money and finances and all that. So she was the first person who gave me a loan. So she gave me that loan and she gave me a POS machine to move into a bigger space, get more staff, and expand my business. So that was my first introduction into investment. Yeah, and then I was able to do that. And subsequently, I kept on taking more loans from her and reinvesting into the business.
Wow.
Here we go.
Thank you. I think one key feedback they've both given is that there was passion and then there was consistency. And so when the opportunity came, they can expand because both our panelists have talked about expanding from where they started from. And I think that is a key recipe into anyone wanting to start or continue to grow your business. Thank you so much. So being in the industry, being in the fashion industry, what is that like, working in that space?
It's highly competitive because it's an industry where, you know, there's pretty much free entry into the market. It gets harder when you get to the top because staying at the top is what now becomes difficult. You have to keep expanding and you have to retain your space at the top. If not, anybody, especially in this day of social media, they can forget you in a heartbeat. So it's very competitive, it's very challenging. And I feel like when it comes to fashion, it's only passion that can keep you up there. And if you know your numbers and you know where you're going to, it's very easy for you to scale up and just stay above competition. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. I was going to ask, how has loan helped in terms of expanding your business, partnering with a bank?
Okay, so. Thank you. Okay, so I would be very honest. When I started Firewood Rice, I started on a zero budget, meaning that at the time, I didn't need to take any loans from anyone to start the business. Now, my business strategy was really simple. Give me money. I will cook your food, I will make a profit, and I'll save it. So that was my business strategy from day one. So I kept on saving till when it was time for expansion. I knew my business grew faster than I imagined. I didn't know that we'll grow so fast in 2 years. So I expanded first in 2 years. And I would not sit here to say I haven't taken a loan before, but maybe not from a financial institution, but I've taken loans from, you know, friends, family, when I was looking to expand. And I know what that did for me because I was able to, so if I was looking to scale on a 20% level, taking loans from family and friends helped me to scale to about 100%. So I remember when I, you know, opened my first central kitchen, people thought I was going crazy. They kept asking me, oh, what are you doing with it? Why do you need customer service people? Why do you need to employ up to 6 people? Why do you need a manager? Why do you need this? But I knew where the business was going. I knew that at the rate people were chasing us for this particular jollof rice, we needed to expand as fast as possible. So it helped me scale a lot. And I was able to use that loan to even acquire the right staff so that I could, you know, pay the right salaries to the right people. So loans are very, very important when you're looking to scale, when you're looking to expand. You should, and I think we should put our hands together for Stanbic IBTC for this initiative. I wish I knew about it. Knowledge is power. I wish I knew about it when, you know, I was looking to expand. I'm sure the interest rates would have been, you know, not as killing as the one I got, but loans are really very important when you're looking to expand.
Expansion. But just to say, there's no need to just say thank you. We're still in business. And don't you want to have expansion plans?
Please, Stanbic IBTC, chase me after this thing. Chase me, pursue me.
Right here. I'm right here because I'm sure you have expansion plans outside Nigeria. And how will we finally win that Nigeria jollof rice is better than Ghana? Now, so let's take it globally. So I know you guys probably think I've been ignoring our he for she on the panel. Shego, I wasn't now, but you know, it's a woman's thing now.
I understand.
You understand?
Definitely.
So how are you supporting us?
Now, the truth is, when people go into business, the very last thing on their mind is insurance. They don't think about it. They feel that every other thing is necessary. But insurance is like a football team. You have the attackers. If you watch world football, the people that get Ballon d'Or and most of this award most of the time is the attackers, the Messis, the Ronaldos, and the likes. Then you have the midfielders. Now, but you also have the defenders. Now, without these defenders, you will see that a lot of goals will be pumping into your net. That is where insurance comes in. The insurance is like a defender to protect you, to defend you against assault, against eventualities, unforeseen circumstances. You didn't envisage it. You didn't plan it. People wake up and they see their houses are flooded. People wake up, they see that, in the middle of the night, fire breaks out, maybe because of one careless person. That is where insurance comes in. For businesses like this, you have a number of insurances that will actually help you in the long run. Now,
Can you tell us some of those products?
So, an example, you have your group life assurance. Now, these beautiful women have talked about scaling, and in the course of scaling, they had to employ some staff. Now, those staff, what will make them highly committed to their business is when they know that if anything happens to me, I have the right kind of backing, the right kind of defense. Now, the guy will work his ass out. He will do everything to give himself to that job because he knows that if something happens to him, his immediate dependents are protected. Now, you have insurance like fire and burglary. So you have an office building where you run your businesses. What if fire breaks out and guts out that business? If you have insurance, it pays you compensation. So you're not afraid of running out of business. You have your GPA that will protect you in case of accident to any staff. You have a number of products like that that would, enable you to do your business seamlessly and comfortably. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think Chizoba also has.
I think it's working. Okay, so just trying to buttress what he has said, insurance is really important in every business. At Firewood Rice Nigeria, we have, so I like to tell stories. So there was a day, I just woke up, from sleep and I saw numerous missed calls on my phone. I was really worried to know what was going on. So I called my manager because he had called about 17 times. And when I picked up the phone, the next thing I heard was really scary. They said there was a fire outbreak, in Firewood Rice Kitchen. And, everybody had to run helter-skelter. Food delivery had to go late that day because even one of my staff was burned. But thankfully, it was not a very high degree, of burns. And then at the time, we had no fire insurance. But when that thing happened, I just knew, because I know what it cost me having to replace all of the items that, we lost in the fire. So we had to, set out to have fire insurance. So insurance is very, very, very important for your business. Another story I would like to tell is the day my staff was cooking and, she got home and I heard she slumped. And before we could rush her to the hospital, she gave up. Now, thankfully, why am I calling her my staff? She was on probation. And meaning she had just cooked for one day. We only tested her to see if she had the skills we required. And when they called me to say, oh, the woman who came for a test yesterday slumped. And when we rushed her to the hospital, she died. I was really worried. And that shook me, put me to tears. And I said, what? We need to also have HMO for all staff, which we have presently at Firewood Rice Nigeria. So insurance is very, very, very important in your business. And again, give a round of applause to Stanbic IBTC. You've had the insurance guy speaking. So please, again, chase me, sir. Let's know the other insurance packages you have.
Yes,
that would favor Firewood Rice Nigeria. Thank you so much.
It's like do you want to sit here, madam? No, just joking. So please tell us, we want to know what insurance products do you have that can resonate to all of us? Shegun can tell us.
So like I mentioned earlier, for businesses,
in terms of specific now, what offerings?
I spoke about our group life insurance policy. Okay. Then we have our credit life. Earlier we were talking about scaling our businesses. Now, one of the fears most people have when they want to take loans is to say that, oh, to get the loan is very easy, but to pay back, especially when eventualities of life happen, becomes a very big challenge. And that is where our credit life insurance comes in, a plan that protects both the borrower and the lender. Both sides are protected. Now, somebody takes a loan of about 50 million naira and is repaying back. And suddenly, God forbid, he probably passes on or has an accident or has a critical illness. Obviously, that person will not be able to continue working to repay the loan. Then the credit life comes in, takes its place, and begins to repay the loan. I mean, what a comfort that person will have. You know, the mere fact that he knows that the loan is being taken care of can actually accelerate his healing. He will not die suddenly because somebody is there, and that somebody is the insurance he has taken by virtue of that chickeny premium, that small premium he has paid to take up that insurance plan.
Thank you so much. Sandra, I think you had something to say.
Oh no, I was just I thought you wanted to ask me what insurance. I didn't want to speak on that, but I wanted to say the cases where if I had insurance, then I probably would have been able to mitigate certain things. So, for example, 2021 Christmas, the collection that we had, it was actually a Christmas collection. So they actually had like Christmas prints, green, red, and we shipped it without any insurance. Believe me, till today, that collection never came. And it dawned on me then.
They probably saw your name on the package and it was free.
And this was actually a lot. It was a lot. I mean, it was ready to wear pieces. We had produced the garments, manufactured the fabrics from scratch. They were all custom made. And it's not something that can be sold in another season. So it's Christmas till today. So those are cases where I feel like insurance would have been able to help. So, you know, it's something that businesses, small, medium scale, large, should actually pay attention to.
Yes, and I think that's what we're trying to take here, to say that the bank can help you grow, the bank can help you invest, but it's also important that we protect, because that part is we neglect, you know, the most in the economy, you know, the last few years, the year where there's fire outbreak in markets, there's flood, these things can be covered, you know, it's just a premium you pay and you'll be quite surprised what you want to cover. So I think for me, I am truly, truly grateful to our panelists for the information. I like the fact that they shared their own experience. They let us know that everything wasn't great. You know, they had hiccups. So if for business owners in the audience, hiccups happen. But I think what we're trying to say here is that there's something that the bank can do. And one of the things they also mentioned was even when the loan bid came in, they were ready. So it wasn't from day one that you started accessing finance. They used what they had, they used their network, you know, and expanded. So when it was time, the right partner, the right advisory came and they were able to go in. And of course, hiccups happen, but that's where the insurance bid came in. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, gents, for this. And I think we'll just, yeah. Okay, I think the next part is to take the Q&A session now. So do we have any questions in the audience or? Okay, there's a lady who's got her hands up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to thank Stanbic IBTIC. I've been banking with you for almost 10 years, and I've been a beneficiary of a lot of capacity building programs from Stanbic that I proudly put on my CV. So my question is for Mr. Shegun. As women, we have a lot of things that we think about using our money for. Are there products and insurance that allows us to pay like small amounts? I saw the health thing on the Stanbic app, but I've not really accessed it. But like there are different insurance, life insurance, property, all those ones that comes in lighter packages. And I also want to know what you have for my employees. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So let me start with your employees. As stated earlier, one of the things you can do for your employees that will make them committed to you, to your business, is to have a group life insurance for them. That gives group life assurance. You call it for short GLA. It gives them a level of comfort that come shine, come rain, they are protected. What does group life do? What does it do for anybody that has it? It simply pays 3 times the annual emolument of your employee should death of that employee occur while working for you. And it provides a worldwide cover. It's a 24 hours worldwide cover. So an employee is working for you and decides to take his vacation to the Bahamas and probably passes on there. A level of responsibility will come on you as an employer. However, by virtue of having group life assurance, let's assume his total annual income is 30 million naira. Insurance will pay 90 million naira. That is 3 times his annual emolument. She said, wow, is that possible? I tell people that miracles happen in insurance. A lot of miracles. People are looking for miracles up and down, but they don't know that miracles happen in insurance. It's only in insurance that you will pay as low as 6,000 naira to get a 1 million naira cover. It is only in insurance. And what other miracle are you looking for other than that kind of miracle? So you need to take up that kind of insurance.
Thank you very much. I think we have one more question. Can we give her the microphone? Thank you. There's a question on the screen, but I think it was directed to the first panel conversation. But let's assure you, I don't know if you can hear me, virtual community, the person who drops this question, someone will pick it and drop a response for you. Thank you very much for participating, but please keep the questions coming, engage on the events app. Can we have your question now, ma'am? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Oluwani Femi. And it's been a very interesting panel session, and I was happy hearing the stories of the CEOs on seat. Risk averse, I cannot lie. I cannot go into business, but I tell the stories of people that are into business. And I've spoken with people in insurance, and they say they are competing with the blood of Jesus because people cover their businesses with that. But I'm happy to be here today where we are talking about the need to protect assets. I think we should address the misconceptions that against insurance in Nigeria and generally in the African market, because you cannot lie. Insurance, people don't want insurance. You are doing a very serious job to market what people actually need. They need it, but you have to do a lot of work. People have closed down insurance companies because of this. So I think we should address misconception. That is one. And 2, how do business owners balance? Please, can we just, let's say, admit that insurance is not cheap? Or is it?
Very cheap. It depends on what you are looking at.
Okay, insurance is cheap, but how do business people balance how much they take from their businesses and put it into insurance and how much they need to run their businesses? Because that is the reason we are here. How do they balance it? What percentage should go into running business and what percentage should go into protecting their assets if they really want to make profit? So 2 questions that I have. Thank you very much.
Okay. Tubo has volunteered to answer the second question, although I may lend a voice to it. So let me say that, yes, there are a lot of misconceptions about insurance, but the reality is some of these misconceptions are, spread, promoted by people who do not probably know some things. I met with some persons a couple of months back, and the person was telling me about the fact that before he can do business with us, he will need to consult his pastor or his imam. That is whatever his pastor or his imam tells him to do, that he will do. And I say, fantastic, beautiful. I say, however, I want to ask you a question. Is your pastor a banker or a financially literate person? Maybe he's working in a bank. I want to know if he's talking from the standpoint of knowledge and experience. And then I had to go into, permit me to say what the Bible says. Even Jesus had to tell that man the 3 talents. He said, even if you don't know anything, this one I gave you, there are people who are already into investment. Why not give them and let them save the money? Even if it is 1% they give to you, you would have given back to me as returns. First one made 5 more. Second one made 2 more. But you buried your own. You didn't do anything. And you could not give it to somebody. She said she's risk averse. I guess that particular person Jesus was referencing was risk averse too. So instead of taking any risk, he decided to keep the money and not do anything with it. The reality is, most of these things are unfounded. So why would I say that? I met with somebody a couple of years back, and he told me that he took insurance somewhere and that they did not pay his claim. The next thing I did, I said, what type of insurance did you do? Because there are different types of insurance. So example, you take a motor insurance and it's a third party. Third party simply says, if you hit someone else's car or you damage someone else's property, insurance will pay. But if your own car is damaged in the process, you will take responsibility for it. And then you come to the end and say, insurance is not paying my claim because of that. What has happened? You forgot that what you took is what? A third party. Somebody took a term assurance. A term assurance is an insurance that will only pay compensation if the eventuality ensured against happen. If the contingency no happen, we no go pay anything. And that is why it's very, very cheap. Now, yes, down the line, you now come and say you want to make claim. And I say you don't have any claim because this is not a savings or investment insurance. So those are some of the misconceptions. You need to understand the type of insurance you are going into. Is it the type that will pay you money back, or is it the type that is just for protection? Thank you.
Thank you. We have about 4 minutes to wrap up.
Okay, so the second question she asked was she made a comment. She said insurance is not cheap. And I'll just use my own real life example to answer that, which is one of the comments that I had made before. It would have been cheaper for me to pay the insurance instead of losing thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, hard currency that I actually bought from black market. It wasn't bank rate. I spent black market money to buy tens of thousands of dollars worth of fabric. If I'd paid a little token, I would have at least gotten my money back. Imagine if I had used somebody's money to do that collection. Maybe I borrowed the money. Not only would I have lost my products, I would have had to pay back that money to the person with interest. So it would have just been cheaper for me to get insurance. And that's a lesson that I have learned for the rest of my life. Another thing is health insurance, for example. It helps you put your staff in check. So if your staff comes, if they don't have health insurance, it's very easy for them to tell you they're not at work, something happened, staff will always be sick. But the minute they have a health insurance and they know that you can control when they go to the hospital, you don't need to be going back to anybody to get a medical report. They sit their ass at work. So it's way cheaper, the lost time at work, just basic things like that. I think insurance is way cheaper than making law.
Just to say that it's actually cheaper for you to have insurance than not to have it. Whatever premium you think you are paying on insurance is always far, far cheaper to have insurance than not to have it. It's better to have insurance and not use it than to need insurance and not have it.
So protect and save. Protect while protecting, you save. We'll take one comment from our digital audience, and it says, I'll have Chizoma take that for us. It says, what are some practical tips for your entrepreneurs who are just starting out and need to build a solid foundation for their business? For example, how can they create a strong brand identity, build a loyal customer base, and establish a sustainable revenue stream? It's a lot. So I guess the question is build. Okay, you got it.
Okay, so I would say this for any business you're going to go into, be it food, be it fashion, anything you're going to, know this and know peace. The market is saturated. So how do how do people notice you in an already saturated market? So I would just use firewood jollof rice as an example. Like I said earlier, you create something unique for your brand. So you have a unique selling proposition, a unique selling product, something that people can always know you for. So once they think jollof rice, I think, or I know that once people think jollof rice, I'm one of the, if not the first brand that they come to for jollof rice. So have something that people need and know that, okay, people will always want this product. So would it be readily available? Be consistent. I said it before, you need to be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. So have a unique selling point for me is what I would leave you with. Have something very unique. And then the next one says what? Please, can I put that? Okay, so by the time you have something, a unique selling product, and the pricing, now you need, okay, this is very important. You need to know who your target audience is. Who do you want to sell to? Are you selling to high value? Are you selling to middle class? Are you selling to low class? So the moment you know who you're selling to, I think that would help in how you see your revenue. So for firewood rice, when I started out, my target audience was the corporate guys. Because I was in paid employment and I knew how it was difficult for us to get lunch every day. And I'm sorry to say this, but some of the people that we usually have in the canteens those days, you will not even feel like eating the food. So we always had to order. And now before the food comes, there was a problem and I knew that. So I said, okay, when I start Firewood Rice, the first problem I'll solve is creating this lunch package. And I can tell you till today, that is our daily cash flow. We do lunch every day and people already know that we have a time for it. So between the hours of 7 and 9 o'clock, if you want very cheap lunch, come to Firewood Rice Nigeria, you will get it. So people have known us for that over time. So like I said, have a unique selling point, know your target audience, and be consistent.
And I think that's it. It's a wrap here. So be passionate. It starts with passion. Be consistent. Know your target audience. And please ensure you protect. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can we please celebrate this amazing, distinguished, stellar panelists? They did an excellent job. It was interesting, it was engaging, and of course, very relatable. You know, I will start with something Chizoma did. When she introduced herself, she said she sells the best jollof rice, firewood jollof rice. And it's a good thing and a cue to us women to always toot our own horns. If we don't talk about our products, how will people know about it? So be confident about always tooting your horns. Now, talking about insurance, there's a question that has been going around on social media. And the question is, what is that one bill that you do not like paying? And my own answer will always be insurance, but I always pay it. I mean, I grumble when I have to pay my insurance, but it's a necessary thing that you must do. For my car, I always do it. It's necessary because just like Mr. Shegun said, it's better to have it and not use it than not have it when you need it. So make sure you have insurance cover on your business, for your property, for things that you value, because insurance covers. All right, thank you very much. Can we celebrate them one more time for an excellent job and excellent delivery? Thank you. We'll have our final panel conversation in a bit, right after the photo session. But I do hope that we're having a great time. If you're having a great time, say bloom. Can we make it louder? If you're having a good time, say bloom, bloom. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Our virtual community, thank you for engaging. Thank you for staying. Please drop emojis. Let us know how you're feeling. Let's feel your pulse virtually. Let's feel your energy virtually. And we do hope that you're connecting as well. My favorite people in the room, my Agege women from the market, again, thank you for joining us today. Many times we say that, people say that, you want to borrow money from the bank, don't go there or they will charge you. But if you want to grow your business, you have to take loan. Loan is good. Even the rich people, the people that have the biggest businesses, they take loan. So they collect loan from bank. No loan. If you collect loan, no be say you be bad person. You still be good person. Your business go grow. That's now so then they collect loan. So collect loan. If you get any questions, talk to the relationship managers. Go to the nearest branch and talk to them, and they will guide you. They feel answer any question where you get. So because say you collect loan, no mean say your business no good. It just means say you won't grow. And so you can come to Stanbic IBTC Bank, talk to them about the loan, collect the loan, and then watch your business grow. Thank you very much. Please let's celebrate our panelists one more time for a great, great job. Thank you very much, Mr. Shegun. Thank you very much, Sandra of Tubal, and thank you, Chizoma of Firewood Rice. And now to our very final panel conversation today. I think it has been a great day, and the conversations have gotten more interesting one after the other. And we saved the best for the last. We would have a conversation on lifestyle and community. And I think this is a very critical conversation when we're talking about women, especially because we've talked about community, we've talked about network. So this is a very critical conversation to wrap up the day. Now, to do the honors of moderating this interesting conversation, it's my honor to bring up a rounded professional with 22 years hands-on experience across the telecommunication and banking industries, specializing in retail banking, operations, relationship management, wealth management, and so much more. She's a graduate of English language with a master's degree in international law and diplomacy. And she has an MBA in finance from the University of Manchester. She's a senior member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, and her profile goes on and on and on. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to moderate this conversation, please let's make welcome the head of internal control at Stanbic IBTC Bank. A warm round of applause for Olufunke Isiche to moderate this fantastic conversation. I see she has a lot of fans in the room. You can make the applause louder. Let her feel the love. She would have the honor of bringing up her fantastic, beautiful panelist. Good morning. I'm handing over to you. Well, it's afternoon.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. This is the real talk. This is the women talk. You know, for many decades, we shied away from talking about women. The fact that a corporate woman needs to do some things and there are special things that need to happen. We need to consciously guide our mind. We need to consciously position ourselves. If you see my panelists, you would scream because it's just going to be an awesome afternoon. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I don't know if it's my mind. Since they had the last panel, I've been smelling smoked jollof rice. I don't know if it's only me. I've been perceiving that since she spoke. So I'll be quick so we can go to that. We're going to talk about the importance of community in personal and professional growth. My panelists will be talking about the importance of self-care as women. They will talk about work-life balance or work-life integration as now exists. We will talk about the importance of coaching and mentoring in career and business for women when you want to grow and develop. How to network as a woman. We know that the men network better. Go to the pubs, go to the bars after work. Men are hanging out, talking about how to close big deals. We are running home to relieve the nanny. We need to be more strategic in some areas. Importance of financial education, which is what we've been doing all day, and dismantling the myth that women don't support women. We do. I would start with, I have three great panelists. I'll start with engineer Hadiza Gabati. She's director, Kabara Community Initiative. Her career has involved a mixture of private and public sector, as well as local and international experience spanning more than 15 years in the oil, gas, and power sector. She's currently a founding partner at GasDev Infrastructure Limited, a gas company providing tailored solutions to market challenges within the sector. Hadiza is passionate about change and development. She's a founder of Kabara Community Development Initiative, a technology-focused nonprofit for Northern Nigerian youths, particularly females. She has a degree in chemical engineering from University of Nottingham, UK, and also a MSc in environmental technology from Imperial College London, also in the United Kingdom. Let us give Engineer Adiza Gabati a resounding welcome. Thank you very much, ma'am. We are so happy to have you. My second speaker is Nicole Chikwe. My God. She's the founder of the Mommy Summit. I went to people what that was about yesterday and I was wowed. She's an advocate of investing for your kids and also teaching women how they can be a mom. And she's an ex-model. She's a mother of 2 beautiful children. She's also a beauty enthusiast and blogger. Her website is thenicolecode.com. Check it out. It's an insider's guide to beauty secrets, not so secrets, and everything in between. I said I peeped in yesterday, all those hacks on how to be a sharp woman without wasting time doing 1 hour, 30 minutes makeup, how to just be effortlessly smart, sharp, and presentable. You get everything there. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Our last panelist, but not the least, is Auntie Adesua. Mrs. Adesua Onyenokwe. Auntie Adesua is a Nigerian television personality. She was a former presenter at NTA before becoming an editor for the magazine Today's Woman, a lifestyle magazine for women that she launched in 2007. She's the publisher and editor-in-chief of the magazine. She's also a host of a TV show, TW Conversations. She's a talk show host of the program Seriously Speaking, which came on air in 2014. She's also a motivational speaker and elocution trainer. I've been a beneficiary of her training before, living in Lagos, Nigeria. I just want to tell you that the citations go on and on. I had to cut them short. She's interviewed presidential candidates before as well. Welcome, Mrs. Adesua Onyenokwe. So I'd like to say a big welcome to our panelists. And we're ready for the live questions. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions. If you have questions online, please start putting them down. If you want to ask questions, please, I need help reading this. I don't have my glasses. They're so tiny. Thank you. If you want to ask us questions, please start getting them together. We would like to have them brought up to be read. I'll start with Auntie Adesua. Ma'am, how important is community in personal and professional growth for women?
Hello. Well, I guess I can throw the voice. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First off, I feel odd sitting with these youngsters. Don't be deceived. You know what I mean? But this is why community is important. I never feel that I am too big to learn or too big to share. Regardless of where you find yourself, at different points in your life, there is something new to learn. And quite frankly, I learned a lot from all the panels. I was interested in being part of this because, first of all, why am I not a speaker? Why am I a panelist? This is a brand that have supported me and I have supported for several years. And I feel a sense of camaraderie with them. It's a brand I trust. It's a brand that says when they'll do something, they'll do it. Now, they are setting up I don't personally belong to any banking community, not one. I support a lot of them, but I don't belong to anyone. But this is one community I am very sure I will sign up for. It's taking me time to look. First off, they have the Agege women here. Agege women, where are you?
Yeah.
Hello. I don't know if people are speaking over their heads, but Agege bread is the most popular bread. It's all over the world today. Jollof will go there eventually. Agege bread is popular. Now, a community that decides to bring deliberately people that otherwise, because I know a lot of people say Stanbic, it's a big man's bank. You know, it's a bank that you don't touch. but it's a bank that has taken its time to enter an industry and a space when it is ready. Now, what's the value of community? It's taking me to why I am here again. I was invited not just because I am Adesuwa Onyenokwe, but because I created a community out of nothing when women were not given a space in the world of media in terms of hearing what they felt like or what they thought like or seeing the kind of women that were examples that you wanted to follow. I decided to begin what I call Today's Woman on television. It's that Today's Woman that has grown to become several things, but the community remains online and we just never died. It's Today's Woman that recognizes the fact that when we are together, we move further, especially women. You know what we have fed from time to time? Mrs. Iche made an assumption to that, and all of you have heard it. Women are their worst enemies. But you know, it's what you hear all the time, is where your mind is at, that you believe. Because if I keep telling you women are your worst enemies, and you really do meet women, you are expecting them to be your enemies. They will be your enemies because you project what's in your mind out. Even if you heard that and you said, no, you start from a point of benefit of the doubt. I am going to love this woman regardless. Trust me, it will be a different ball game. We need to change our minds about how we see what we are to each other. But it starts with us realizing that we are a community with common interests. Even with all the story today that we don't know which one is man or woman transgender, whatever you change to become, when you die and they dig you up, your bones remain female. We are special. There's something about us. We may have certain attributes, but we have been designed a particular way. So we understand each other, but it only happens when we begin to communicate right with each other. That is why communities are key. Everything that's happened here today, I believe if you join the Bloom community, that's where your answers will be answered, your questions will be answered. Because the community gives you the feeling of, they feel me, they get me, they understand me. It's up to that community to disappoint you. If they disappoint you, walk away, but give them a shot. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's important that women stick together. And there are some lessons that we learn from people's experiences. You don't have to go the hard road to learn. I just want to take a pause and quickly run through our non-financial benefits for this Bloom community. I mean, there are a lot of financial benefits around pricing, around waivers on things that cost in other financial organizations. But for us, you will get invitation to niche events throughout the year. For example, we have at X at Stanbic, you will get invitation if you're part of our Bloom community. We have Wimby's events and other women empowerment events. You would get invitation to those. You have access to free capacity building training. Today, if you put 100 of our business owners, enterprise account holders together, a high percentage of them will tell you that we've trained and groomed them in their areas of specialty. We've brought experts into the room to tell them how to structure their business. I was a branch manager and I taught many business owners how to even have a balance sheet, how to keep their records so that they can qualify for loans. You hear everywhere they say Nigerian banks don't lend to small businesses. We do, but most of these businesses are not structured, and every institution is waiting for you to come structured and correct before they lend to you. We would teach you from the basics. What she said, the firewood lady, she said when she was hiring customer service employees, people thought she didn't know what she was doing, but she was preparing for the future. Because if you want to be somewhere, you have to act like you are going there. Keep records. Record your spend, be responsible and disciplined in the way you manage your account, and then you can qualify whatever it is you want the financial institution to support. So we teach all that. We hold your hand. Also, you have access to financial fitness events for account holders, even the minors. Invitation to Stanbic IBTC Trade Club. We have a trade club that also teaches you, empowers you to make those decisions that are savvy and will help you trade expertly. access to financial events for all of you who hold Blue Blossom accounts, free risk advisory to account holders on home insurance. You've met our insurance speaker, and of course, free claims management to account holders when there are insurance conversations. So those are just few, and we have network of engagements like this where you meet one another and you get a lot from Stanbic IBTC Bank. So this is not a joke for us. We are building something that is going to outlive a lot of us that are here. And it's going to be a community that empowers women across Nigeria, not just Lagos, all over the country and externally when the time comes. Thank you very much once again, ma'am. That was a very good answer. Now, my next question goes to Nicole. I like looking at you. You know so much, and it's so impressive. Why should women prioritize self-care? What role does self-care play in building a healthy lifestyle? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone can hear me. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Stanbic IBTC, for inviting me to speak on this panel. I love talking about self-care, and that's because self-care is severely misconstrued. So when we think about self-care, for the most part, what comes to mind? It's self-indulgence, it's pampering. You know, you might think about a spa day, massages, a trip abroad, a vacation. These are kind of the things that we think about when we're thinking about self-care. And it's reasonable to think those things because that is the way it is marketed. The most people that are marketed self-care is actually women. Why? Because women are overwhelmed, women are burnt out. But what culture and what society is doing is marketing self-care as something that is earned. So we'll hear things like, oh, you know, you've worked so hard this week, don't you deserve a treat? You should come and get this massage here, or you should go for drinks here because you've worked so hard. I know you're tired. You know, this life, I can't kill myself. You should not kill yourself, which is all well and good. But what that does, like I said, is it reinforces the lie that self-care is something that is earned. Self-care is not something you earn. Self-care is something you require as a woman and as a person in general, but in particular as a woman, because why? Society places so many responsibilities on us. We're expected to be so many people for so many people. Women don't just wear one hat. All of us here have to be daughters, friends, sisters, neighbors, wives, mothers, the list goes on and on, good employees. Of course, women know how hard we have to work to prove ourselves in the workplace. So there's just so much that's put on us all the time. And then this notion of self-care being something that you have to earn by striving is wrong. It's a requirement. If not, you're going to burn out. And what does burnout look like? Burnout actually affects you physically. So instead of seizing the day, you know, we've all heard carpe diem, you know, seize the day, you feel like the day is seizing you. You're just going through the day, just trying to chase the day and just trying to get through the day. And you wake up the next day and you just have to do it all over again. And you go to bed at night, you're still thinking about all the things you haven't done, all the things you have to do. And then what does that do? That signals anxiety. Women are overwhelmed, women feel anxious, women feel tired. And what happens is that all of these things now show up in our bodies. Physically, we all know now, science has proven time and time again, that stress actually starts to physically manifest in your body. And what happens is that if you do not pick a day for your body to take care of itself, your body is going to pick that day for you. And that's why self-care is so important for women. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I hope we all know that when your body decides to pick the day, it is sickness. It's no longer voluntary. It's out of your hands. You are going to break down. So self-care is critical. In these times, we have started to reject that notion of superwoman. There's no super anything. Ask for help, get a maid, be nice to some aunties who can help you sit at home if you don't trust the nanny. Take your child to a qualified crèche. Do things, take things off your hands so that whatever it is you want to focus on, you're not breaking yourself at the expense of your health. There is no super woman. Get help. Thank you so much. You couldn't have done better to that question. The question for Engineer Adiza, I had, okay. I had that question, and then that was the question that came from the audience, so you can see how important it is. How do you survive and thrive in a male-dominated field? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. Well, I think I'd like to say that I agree with Dr. Shogunle that Nigeria has a good representation of support on both angles for both male and female. I have a good support base of both male and female throughout my career, and I think it speaks a lot to our culture being quite advanced in wanting progress in the community. But I think that there's two specific traits, and I'll share a quick story to the second one, that it's important to survive in any environment, whether a business or whether in a company. I think the first is to hone your craft. It is extremely important to get very good at what you do. Now, if you practice and you work hard at what you do, you become a natural team player. When children are in the playground and it's a five by five game that needs to go on, people choose the best person at the sport. It doesn't matter whether they like you or not. Once you're non-partisan and you work hard, everyone wants you on your team. So I think the first and most important thing is to hone your craft. And then the second thing is, I think it was spoken about in the last session. The host was speaking about how women don't show up at bars and clubs. I would say the second thing is to be present. So as a young engineer, I was on a team of 3 other male engineers, and they would always go off at lunchtime, and it used to infuriate me. But as a woman, I wouldn't say anything because I'm like, I'm here, I should be here like the rest of them, and I'm going to keep up. And they would just go off, and I never knew where they were going, but I just thought they were going to have a drink at lunchtime, or it just seemed exclusive. But one day, I was having a chat with one of them, and I said, "Oh, why are you guys going at lunchtime?" Would you believe it? They used to go and play table tennis. So I said, okay, I'd like to come, but I can't play table tennis. So here's what we'll do. And they decided that both of them will play. They'll play a mini tournament. Lunch break was an hour. So this literally took like 15 minutes. They would play a tournament, and then the loser will have to play with me to teach me and then buy me lunch. So what ended up happening was I learned speed table tennis at lunchtime. And after like a few weeks, I was able to compete in a 2x2. But I asked them that they shouldn't take out the lunch bit. So I got free lunch throughout the time I was on that team. Now, where am I going? Men harness their relationships. They spend a lot of time discussing helping themselves, discussing how to go about improving their lives, their prospects, the economic aspects around living. It's not that women don't do that, but we have a whole plethora of things that we discuss, you know, the children, the husbands, you know, just trying to juggle it. But I bet you they're not always going where you think that they're going. They're not always going to the pub. They're not always going to male exclusive areas. Oftentimes, if you just show up and you get to know people, you'll be able to drop those traditional biases that you currently have that is stopping you from engaging and establishing one-on-one relationships. And once I learned and started to do that, I realized that I was in an all people's club. It wasn't a girls' club or a boys' club. It's a people's club. Get to know people one-on-one, and you establish unique relationships. I can't speak to that notion of male or female. I've really been fortunate to have a strong support base of both sexes. And it's from learning to cultivate relationships with individuals by being open and learning about people. Thank you.
Wow, wow. See how she learned speed tennis. I mean, it means don't just step back. Where are these guys going? Can I join you? Where are you going? Can we come? You know, let's not just step back and think the door is shut against us. The truth is, there is no successful woman in business or career that hasn't been mentored by both men and women. There isn't. A lot of us have had male mentors, female mentors who are as interested in our growth as we are. And we should never forget that when we're talking about growing and working in a male-dominated environment. Everyone needs a support system and every sex shows up. And so all the myths are gone. So there's a question that everyone is supposed to speak to. And Tadeshwa already touched on it, and I'm not surprised. It's a common myth that women don't support women. Can we give examples from experiences, how our circle has come through, or how your circle has come through for you? So it's an open question. Anyone who wants to share how women has supported them, just to, again, buttress the fact that this myth is non-existent, is a fallacy. Thank you, Auntie. I see you.
Hello. Okay, this works. I think I should rephrase that statement. That I said it before doesn't mean that there aren't women who do not support women. The truth is, women do not support women, but so same thing as men. Men do not support men sometimes, but it's making it an issue that's a question. I'm not telling you that every woman you meet will support you. However, it's your mindset. If you go in expecting not to be supported, that's what you're going to get. But the truth is, like actually attracts like. I was just telling my husband the other day that when I started business, most of the top executives in business were male. My biggest problem was, if I get into this place, they're going to chase me. Because I mean, though I was married, I look good, don't I? So I mean, I'm chaseable.
You do.
So I used to feel like, no, I'm not going to ask because these guys are going to chase you. But at a point in time, I told myself, when you think they are going to chase you, they will chase. And if they do chase you, you can say no. Do you know what I mean? So it changed my mind, and I was doing that. There were most, in fact, if not all the marketing managers were male, but there was one female marketing manager. My first big check for Today's Woman on television was from a female marketing manager. I went to her. I told her about it. She understood, and she bought it. That was it. When I went to the men, they would tell me, why are you talking to just women? I had to get people to understand that the woman is the most important, because even the car that the man will buy, the woman will influence it. If not his mother or his wife or his girlfriend or his daughter. True or false? And I found that even the show I ran had an equal percentage of male and female viewership. That I was giving women the chance to speak didn't mean that it was speaking to only them. But my concern was that women would see their type and be encouraged to be like that. But it didn't mean that only women would watch it. So what am I saying here? If you have a mindset that speaks to something, that's what you're going to get. My first 3 big checks were from women. I got business from men, but it was a harder sell. But today, because I was selling a specific product, I didn't want to shift. I said, okay, this show is for everybody. The show, my primary target are women between this particular age, and I believe they make the world move. They need to be in the right space. But today, women are in top positions everywhere. I can walk in there and I see my type. But what you find is that young women feel that, okay, I just go there and I will get it. What do you have? What are you bringing? How can you convince the person that running with you is great? Not because they are women, but because they are women, the door may open, but it's not being female that keeps it open. It's being good and skilled at what you do.
Wow, wow, wow. So you need to add value. You need to solve a problem. You need to create a solution. If you have something, it doesn't matter what sex is in there or what gender you're talking to, you are going to get the kind of support you need. And most importantly, we need to leave our minds open whatever happened to our grandfather in one movie, African Magic, it's not our business. We should just have an open mind and take people for their words. We should not second guess people. We should trust that if we have something honest, something of value to give, to put out, we would have people support us. And when we get that support, we should pay it forward. We should not forget to be grateful and to also lend our hands to the people coming up. So all of us who have had mentors, who have had coaches, I hope you are coaching and mentoring somebody. If your business is successful now, someone held your hand when you started, please look around you. There are other business people trying to be like you. Show them some support. It's not only by giving money that you help people. Some intellectual support you give to people is so much and they will never forget it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I just wanted to add one thing. Even if they tell you no, it's not the end of the world. At least try.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. My next question goes to Nicole. We want more. We want some tips on self-care. Please teach us, especially those unconscious ones that we don't have to create time to go to the spa for. Those ones we can fit into our everyday life so that we can be wholesome. Thank you.
Okay, so again, the thing about self-care, like I had mentioned, because of the notions that we have around it, it can come across like it is classist or elitist, or it's only for people who have money to go on trips, or it's for people who can check into a hotel for the weekend and relax. But like I said, it's something that you need to do for yourself. It's a requirement. And the thing about self-care as well is it's a little bit difficult to talk about self-care in this way, but self-care sometimes is actually not fun. And I think some of us know the things that we're supposed to do to take care of ourselves, and we avoid it because it's not fun. Like, we want the self-care of, I want to lay in my bed and watch Netflix all night and eat a tub of ice cream because that's self-care. That's not self-care. That's indulgence. Self-care is setting out a time in the morning to work out. That is self-care. Self-care is exercising. Self-care is, even if you're not going to do anything drastic, it's waking up to walk around your compound in the morning for 30 minutes. We all know how important movement is, what movement does in terms of your weight and your muscle mass and how strong you are physically, but it also reduces stress. So one quick thing that you can do is just set out some time in the morning to take a walk. Another thing, of course, is setting out time to pray or meditate. But when you're able to kind of focus on something outside of your surroundings and look to something higher, something that inspires you and that can help you. So doing that in the morning, you'll find that taking those pauses, setting out time in the morning to pray or meditate or journal, setting out a bit more time to work on yourself physically. These are small things that you can do that help you take charge of the day. And when you do things like that, you're actually entering the day as opposed to the day entering you. So that's one thing. Another thing is even just being disciplined with yourself to try and get to bed on time. That's something that I still personally struggle with. I'm a night owl. Like, if you leave me, I can be up until 2 a.m. But when you're not getting enough sleep, it affects you physically. And it's so important to be able to discipline yourself, to set your phone away and try and go to bed on time. So self-care is not, it's not far, it's not something that's expensive, and it's sometimes it's not fun, it's not pleasant, but there are many things that we can do, and all of us have the individual things that we know that we like. Some people like cooking. How cooking can be someone's self-care, I don't know. But if it works for you, if it works for you, then, I love it. So there are individual things that we all know that we like, but there are things that we can do that are all around us that will give us a sense of self-care. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I once saw something that said, I didn't come to this world to pay bills and die. So what it basically means is that you need to do the things you love. That's also self-care. And sometimes if you're not careful, you spend your days not doing anything you love. And that's why, again, you should find a job you love or love the job you have, you know. The other thing is fitness, health and fitness. Exercise is very important. Fit it into your schedule. Diet, she said you should sleep on time. All these things roll together to make you a wholesome human. Thank you so much. We've benefited really from that. Hadiza, how do we network? I mean, this networking thing is so hard. You spend the whole day, you've not finished your KRA. How do you network? So some of us, not me, when I say us, is general. We only network when there's a family event or when there's association meeting. Please teach us quickly. How do we network? Thank you.
Oh, wow. I think it really goes along the things that we spoke about, but I would like to speak about it in terms of structuring your day and then putting networking into it. So I think that the first thing that you need to do generally around your schedule is to plan. I think it's very important to plan everything that you do, because when you plan, you can prioritize. So let's use networking as a priority tool in there. Once you're able to plan, then you're able to create a structure where you can put the things that are important to you on the list. And I would say that one of the ways to do that, when you think about it, would be looking for scenarios within your immediate network or on social media or through your communities at church or people you know. Once you get to speak to people, you get to communicate with people, you can create those opportunities to meet people in a different environment. So I would say planning first, creating your plans, and then you can put that in there. But I want to take it a little bit forward and just add things that are important with planning and networking is to also create some rest time. I don't think anyone really spoke about resting when you're planning when you're existing as a person. It's extremely important to create time to rest within your plans so that you're able to be more effective. I think the second thing as well would be, and I'm speaking to timing, things that have to do with timing, because you're also trying to create a balance in your structure. I think the second thing would be to also create boundaries. Boundaries are very important in terms of even networking. Once you're able to plan and prioritize what's important to you, then you know what to say yes and what to say no to. It's extremely important to know, to be able to link your yes to your why you need to be here and to the output of the task that you've set aside for yourself. One of the key things to be careful about is natural boundary shifters, such as social media. I hear Nigerians spend an average of 4 hours on social media every day. If you take 4 hours out of your working time, you're not going to have enough time to do your work. And please, if you're not doing your work, don't go and network. Do your work first. Do the minimum amount that's expected of you before you now start to associate with people, because for networking, you need to be able to give and receive. It's not just one way. That's how you actually create beneficial relationships. You need to be able to give value, not just to receive value. And I think that the last thing I would say here would be about practice. You need to, I think it's about 10,000 hours is the standard time to be an expert at something. It's extremely important to practice and hone your skills. I know I said that before, but I think that the more you hone your skills and the more you become good at what you do, the less self-discrimination and outward discrimination you would have. You just naturally get exposed to thinking the better of people, giving people the benefit of the doubt, being able to understand a multiple array of situations. For example, the example I used prior, you see a group of men going now as a woman, you don't naturally think, oh, I'm excluded. You know that 101 things could be happening that could include you. So if you're able to practice, what you end up having to do eventually is delegate. Women, please delegate. You are not super. delegate. Men are fantastic at delegating. They give other people responsibilities, tasks, and they look away. Once you delegate, you give responsibility, and then eventually you become a mentor because that person has to come back to you, be able to reach you and ask you questions on how to improve. I know it's tough. You've left your house, the baby, this nanny, and you have another nanny supervising that nanny, and then you have your mom not too far away or your grandma, checking on the nanny, on the other nanny. Yes, but you have to be able to build people and build confidence, teach people, and then be able to step back, delegate, and then supervise and mentor from afar. So the first will be planning. The second will be creating boundaries, learning to say no and shifting away from those natural boundary shifters that take away your time. And then the next will be to practice. If you practice and you're good at what you do and you start to delegate, you'll find time to network. I'm sitting here, but I have people who are doing what I should be doing. I'm going to be networking after this because they're doing the work and they're also improving themselves. And I'll be available later to be able to help them with the things that they were not able to do. But I've been able to carve out time to do what is important to me, which is be here at the Blue Bosom event to help women to be able to be empowered, to be financially literate, and to be successful individuals. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so loaded. I learned so many things just in that one answer and the many areas. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of this session. Would like to take questions if we have any more. I can see a hand up in the audience. Just to quickly say that she mentioned that when you're networking, you should also go there with something to add. So don't go to networking with the mind to take from people without adding value. Thank you. So let's have your question now.
Thank you very much. My name is Loretta Semota. I am an environmentalist. Not really a question, but to add to what she said about resting. I just want to add, you can also connect to nature when you're resting because there's this therapeutic ability of nature to calm you, to relax you, and to inspire you to aspire. So that's just what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Nature. Not every time jump on the plane to go to London, America. Go to your village. Go to Ekiti. Go to Delta. Go to Kano. Stay near the trees and flowers and just be nurtured by nature. Don't be buying ticket all the time. Any other question? I think we're done. I would like to say a big thank you to the three of you. You've been really amazing. We could have been here all day. Thank you. For our women in-house, I'd just like to encourage us. There's mentorship, there's coaching, there's sponsorship. Please always remember to mention a woman when you see an opportunity, either for a job, for a business, for partnership. Mention another woman, and we would all support one another to achieve all our goals. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much. Can we please celebrate them for a great job telling us about networking, lifestyle, communities, and thank you for reminding us that self-care is extremely important. It is a necessity, not a reward. You deserve, you should take care of yourself. It's not something that you're rewarding yourself for. And communities are extremely important. We can't do life alone. The narrative that women don't support women, although has not completely changed, but is changing. I can attest to the fact that I have enjoyed immense support from women all through my journey in life. And, a very close example will be through my onboarding process to be the host of this occasion. All the women that I spoke with over the phone on different Zoom calls were extremely warm. And so you can decide to be kind to another woman. You can decide to hold another woman. So even if we say women don't support women, if every woman in this room decides that, you know what, I will take a personal responsibility, regardless of whether I've enjoyed support from another woman or not, we can't even imagine the ripple effect it would have. So each of us should pledge to support other women. It could be 1, it could be 10, it could be 100, as many as you can support. Be kind enough to support the women. But thank you very much. This was a great conversation. If you agree, please give them a round of applause as they exit the stage and still take further pictures. I'd like to celebrate all our speakers, all our panelists, very distinguished personalities that have graced this stage today and have shared of their knowledge, their experience, their time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our virtual community. You are fantastic. Right after this, we have exhibition stands outside this hall, and we want you to please visit those stands, make purchases, much more than connecting. We want you to shop. I mean, not until you drop, but just shop, visit the booths, talk to them, ask questions, but buy. Most importantly, then we have prepared sumptuous lunch for everyone in the room. But just before lunch, we will take an official vote of thanks. My name is Mojibade Shosonya. I've had a fantastic time being your compere today, and I have learned so much. But to do the official vote of thanks, it's my honor to bring up an executive director, consumer and high network client, Stanbic IBTC Bank. Please let us make welcome Olu Delano for the vote of thanks to officially close this momentous occasion.
Thank you, Mojibade. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope everybody had a insightful day. It's just to thank all the guests coming through. More importantly, the customers or potential clients. The product that we're talking about here actually is not a product. I'll just have a quick summary. One, it's a community. That's the lesson I'm learning, and I will encourage us to connect to the community. Everyone here has you have your business, you're very good in those business areas. But you know what? Just take your link and plug into a 160-year-old banking experience. There is a lot to connect with. The play that took place this morning or this afternoon resonated with me. We save in our colo. Things where folks went to steal. There were some issues with life insurance. So there are lots of these challenges that, the problems you can solve can be solved across the group. And the package in terms of Blue Blossom, it's something that you should connect with. So I just want to encourage us to connect to the community. You, in terms of your businesses, you're already in a community, right? You engage in all sorts of connectivity. So we should just connect to us in terms of pension solution, investment, savings, meeting you at your point of need. So just be encouraged. Shola Deborah told us one thing that I took away, financial dignity. I learned something, financial dignity, where you don't have to be hustling, you don't have to beg, you don't have to plead. So just connect to us. We do the right business the right way. We're one of the largest pension companies in Nigeria, asset management, advice. Who do you go for advice? So I just want to encourage, that's my takeaway. Please connect to us. We're linked on, we're online. We have relationship managers across. So it's just to send that message as a final message from Stanbic IBTC. And to our execs and the team that put this Blue Blossom, very well done. We have to do something for the men. Can I hear something? We're not jealous, but we're very happy. We really are. The doc gave us an example around the way the ladies, the women connecting. Our chairman is a woman. I report to a woman. I have direct reports that are women. We have lots of customers. And if you look at my own personal experience in terms of my mother, my grandmother, my wife, in terms of skill and coordination, All you need is the final kerosene, final boost, which Stanbic will give you. So just be encouraged to connect with us and engage going forward. But again, fantastic product, fantastic solution. Thank you to all the organizers. Bridget, where is Bridget? Bridget, fantastic. And the team, all your team, all the teams, fantastic, well done. And to the compare, well done. I'm just saying for the first time, we did a good job. So keep going. But thanks everybody for coming through. All the very best. Connect to the community and see your business grow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please celebrate Mr. Ola Delano. It's been a fantastic day, but one more thing before we officially close. Please focus your attention to the multimedia screen. At Stanbic IBTC Bank, we want to hear from you. We're here to serve you. So we want to hear your feedback. It's the maiden edition of the Bloom Conference. We'd like to take feedback. We want to hear what we could have done better. Let us know what you enjoyed. I mean, apart from giving us recommendations, let us know the great things that you enjoyed, the things that we should do for the next edition. Just give us your feedback, give us your kind words, your recommendation, or any comments at all that you have. So please take a picture of this, open your phones, please. Thank you. Thank you. We want feedback. We appreciate feedback. We want to do better for you to serve you better. Thank you so much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It has been such an honor to be your compere today. Now we have lunch. Lunch is served. We would have our hostesses come to your tables and lead you. It's a buffet. We want to do this in an orderly manner so that everyone will enjoy from what you have been smelling so far. But our VVIPs, our very distinguished guests, have a special package. So please have your seat. We will attend to you very shortly. Thank you so much for coming. Do enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy visiting our exhibition booth. We have different things for you. Talk to our vendors, purchase apart from talking to them, network, and keep blooming. Do have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you.
Duchess of the market that keeps our belly full, Her Royal Highness, the one that turns hundreds into millions. We, your children you carried on your back, say thank you. Mama no dey sleep, no dey tire. The ever-efficient Chief Operations Officer, Bebe di Bebe, new media marketer, turning likes into credit alerts. Sweet babe, running in 9 to 5, yet still turning up for your people. Women are blooming with ideas, thriving in life and business. At Stanbic IBTC, we are cheering you on. Blue Blossom is for women who want to save, invest, and grow in life.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for being.
Stanbic IBTC.
Although we have officially closed, we still have networking going on, taking pictures, launch, exhibition stands. Make sure you connect with at least one person before you leave here today. I'd like to specially recognize one of our directors who just joined us. Please let us celebrate with a warm round of applause. The amazing, delectable, phenomenal Ndidi Unwuneli. A round of applause for her. She has made our time to be here.
Marketer, turning likes into credit alerts.
So thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us.
Running in 9 to 5, yet still turning up for your people. Women are blooming with ideas, thriving in life and business. At Stanbic IBTC, we are cheering you on. Blue Blossom is for women who want to save, invest, and grow in life. Go Bloom with